erase the server. I regret not grinding the Instaformer yesterday.
You want one?
I mean, I know I left like half an hour early, but holy moly, people murdered things after.
Yes, Rod, I would love one. Where are you?
I'm on Pyrenesis.
All right, swing by. Are you doing a time lapse today?
I don't know. My one yesterday failed miserably.
Are you doing a time lapse? Oh no, what happened?
Mass amounts of ball hogs kept invading across the river.
Yeah, I had like 45 minutes of video of basically an open plane that had me dying a number of times and like a small little tiny platform made. And then after that, at some point on the camera, I must have moved it backwards a little bit. And when I'm in the camera mode that I put it in, it has inertia. So I had backed up a little bit to move the camera and didn't notice I still left it going.
We're
so
testing.
I looked back over like 10 minutes later and I was like,
we're live
4 miles
on
off to the side.
platforms.
Oh my gosh, that's
Video, Twitch.
So it wasn't a very productive video.
Wait for my X platform. Okay.
Yeah, I imagine
live, so I can come in here and get
a long dolly zoom out.
I thought you're supposed to get more XP for planting things.
Perhaps when we actually update.
Ah, okay. Because I just planted and I was getting 1 XP per.
Tomorrow.
Why did they? I can't stay on the jungle now. They got rid of all the water. I'm sad. I have to go find another place.
It's a very popular test activity to drain the lake.
Well, first, I just wanted to say, okay, welcome everybody to the stream. I'm the host, nfoGuides or Axler Twinblade, and I'm here to show you guys what little we know collectively about the game Stars Reach, which is in pre-alpha testing, which I just got access to not too long ago. What was it? 2 days ago, and played for the first time. So we're gearing up for a play test that should start in about 15 minutes. And if you hear other people chit-chatting away in the stream, this is actually the Stars Reach Discord channel. And this is the Watch Play Test channel that has other people
the
talk.
Asteroids?
Once
like
the game actually lets me play, I will probably leave that channel so that way we're not talking over everybody.
Like they're a Death Star being built. They're missing whole panels.
Double check on my
I'm just pretty sure this means things didn't load in for me.
Running smoothly.
This means things didn't load in for me.
Running smoothly. Okay. That one looks like we're good over here on YouTube. If you're in chat or watching, please drop a note. Let me know that you're there. And over on the X platform, if you're in chat, everything's looking good. Please drop a note. Let me know.
Not you guys. You don't have to go away. All the bog hogs have to go away.
And now let's go over and verify Twitch.
Now I'm going towards Sky Sharks. Ah.
And Twitch appears to be doing nice and good as
Face is scary.
Okay.
You said go away and like instantly 2 people just vanished.
Or they Sky
I gotta
Sharks.
see if I can tone down Discord here. It is way too loud coming through this stream here. Don't mind that people hear it, but whoa, it's loud on my end.
I hate it when a plan doesn't come together.
Okay.
Oh,
now
you
we
can't talk to the platform.
need to do a little bit of advertising. Yeah. not that. I hate it when you click on the wrong thing.
So green is Rodin, right?
Yeah, that's Rodian. Rodin. I always think of the green guys from Star Wars Galaxies.
Aw, my energy drink got all over my test notes.
Hello there, Kevin. No, I took the day off. I straight up said that in work chat. So, I didn't know the play test was this early. Thought it was at like 10, but no, it's at 9. So in like 10 minutes.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If my terrain hasn't drawn in and I run out into it, will I fall?
You'll like hang in the air forever, kind of weirdly.
I'm gonna do it. Worst case, what? I reboot. There I go. Nice. I can fly. Sweet. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I haven't had my energy drink yet this morning either. So, okay, that's fair.
Hello there.
Oh,
Hey,
good morning.
Beanstalk. What do you have planned for
Ooh.
today?
How's it going?
Well, first of all, I started thinking about building a fully operational battle station, but I was thinking, well, I think I'm gonna see if I can survive the whole game in space. That is my current plan.
Well, that'll be fun.
My terrain hasn't been, or like, things haven't been so it's
They're
like spawning
talking
in
like
for me for
the
textures
game
and
is up
that.
and running. Let me see
So
if I can join in.
all of the like
But
all of
most
the
of them talking, I
asteroids
think,
looked like
are
they
more
were
of the
being
devs.
assembled and built because there were big square patches missing or rectangular patches. It looked pretty cool. Don't think it was
Interesting.
working as intended.
Nope, that's just the terrain being the terrain. Let's see here. Wish there were survey points in space because I think I'm gonna need the ranger experience. I think that is probably the only time I actually need to go to another planet. So I guess I'll do that real quick.
Okay. We can see the game screen. Ooh. Create a new
Note,
character.
Tab does not work when doing a bug report. To jump
Who
down
should
the
we
box.
be? Who should we be here? Let me know if my voice is too quiet compared to the game sounds. For those that are watching, because I'm still waking up here. Let's be a Gertan. It says F10 is screenshot, but I don't think it's taking screenshots. I'm hoping screenshots work because I want to take a bunch of screenshots during the stream. How's the coffee going there for you,
I
Kevin?
guess I should start the survey.
Yeah, that's not all of the races right now. They have 4 races. And like Star Wars Galaxy, they did say that there will be race modifiers to some base stats. But none of that's in yet. All right. And we're walking. Okay, I need to find out if screenshots are actually being taken. So my guy's going to stand here for a second while I browse my computer and see if I can locate screenshots in any kind of screenshot folder.
See, I know it was going too well yesterday where nothing went wrong for me. First thing today. Sweet. You guys get some bug
Oh, let's
reports.
see. We've got
How dare you.
nothing I can see in that folder.
Oh wait, that's what we're asking you to do.
I'm so happy to help break things.
Okay, there. It didn't save the
That's
screenshot from the
Even if it's just incidentally.
intro, but now that I'm actually in the game, it did save a screenshot in a folder. So
Hey, Rodney, I'm a little behind. I just logged in and to watch you. Did you just build something up? Put your settlement on top
okay, we
of
got
it in order
Swiss
to
cheese
get
ground, so that
Galaxy?
means
That's brilliant. I love it.
Exactly why I did it. So I
there
can
we go. Let's go with yes. I just did another
Breaking news
screenshot.
when?
There's no audio indication that that screenshot took
You should see
place,
some of
but
Beanstalk
I
stuff.
see it pop up in a folder over here. So we good.
So, being that Beanstalk was, I guess, the mayor of Beanstalk, I can imagine.
Thanks, Rod.
All my skills are reset, so this is okay. So I'm just going to start taking some screenshots here from my own brain so I can look at this
Ooh, I
stuff
have
when I can't
textures
play.
again, but I'm in the ground. Like down in a hole.
Interesting.
And I
Civil
don't know how I
engineering
got in
wasn't
the hole.
on the top of the tree last time. It's like the sorting of this tree has somewhat changed. It's not alphabetical. I think it's just probably a fluke right now. Unlocks the ability. Yep. Then let's go ahead and look at that one. That one. What I'm trying to get here is screenshots of these tooltips because I want to be able to reference them at a different time. Okay, so botany.
Aha, found a king prowler.
Whole bunch of screenshots,
Congratulations.
but I bet
That's the one boss I haven't soloed.
the fellow person watching over here
Seems
on
hard.
what platform? YouTube. Angles. I bet you he understands what I'm doing. No tooltip.
Whisper on my screen, you're standing on a spawn-in platform.
I am now.
Oh,
I
okay.
go to the hole. You can't keep me in a hole. Worst case, as I would have dug my way out.
I believe this play test is a 4-hour playtest. I am not sure if I'll make
Noah
it the
puts baby
full
in a hole.
4 hours, but I do want to do
down the sky sharps.
some more beginner type playtesting aspects here. So, okay, so Trailblazer / Ranger. What I'm
Well, I
looking at
just put the
here is it
terraformer
almost
away,
looks
so
like
next time I fall in a
Pathfinder
hole, I'll
should be
have
up
to
at the
climb out.
same level as Trailblazer.
New planet. I need to cut down new trees.
Not sure. Pathfinder. Oh, I'm getting a bunch of these. Camp into a permanent homestead. You can have an additional homestead and another one. Okay, so you can have campfire
Almost every mountain
and you
has
can add
sky
a
sharps
tool
on it.
maker, and on the third size
They like
we
to be
can
Interesting
add the
pattern.
lathe.
Some have ball hives.
Then the camp time can be increased.
Just switch map.
Okay,
map
let's
is
go
all
look at the
empty brown.
mineralogy tree. Because one thing I didn't really look at during the first
I said
two
you can
play
just switch
tests
'em
I
up.
did is
You
I
can go
didn't
ball
really
hives
pay
or sky
attention to
sharks.
any of these tooltips. And then when I couldn't play, I was wondering, what did that one actually do? So my brain is going back looking at these things so I can better understand. And hopefully, now I'm not going to read them here on screen or on stream because my plan right now is to read them offline. I don't want to waste tons of my time here
All right, I don't
during
see
the
any
play
around this
test,
spawn point here
trying to just
on
read a
Guymer, so
book.
I'm gonna throw some dark wizards down.
I like to do that when I can't play. It'd be
such a
different if
pretty
the server
mushroom.
was always up, but it's not. So
So nice. I have to go gather some more. But they're so handy.
okay, what's forestry? Oh, look at this. I don't know if I saw this the other day. See how this says botany? It looks like we got to unlock
just
something in
beautification.
botany to be able to use that. So we have a circle versus a square.
Gravimination. Yeah.
We can
I
do the
don't
full
remember
button.
seeing that visually, but then again, I didn't pay too close attention to the botany one.
It's got form and function.
Or the forestry one, I should say. After I got the Xeno Slicer, I didn't really pay attention to it. That skill tree, that is. But I do believe civil engineering should be the same. So, well, it's not really a class because that's a tool. Instaformer is a tool.
It's a high bush blueberry.
I don't know. I remember seeing a lot of these, but I don't remember seeing the circles with the lock saying mineralogy to get the Instaformer. And I don't see over here anything that would indicate what would unlock the Instaformer from the mineralogy tree.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
So now let's just get kind of a picture of these trees here.
Make sure to hug your
These will
significant
definitely
others.
change over time. I know civil engineering is supposed to be a subclass, I believe, of the ranger class, was it? No. Civil engineering. One of these has a
We printed off some. I have cardstock. I used to work in print shops. Anyway,
What was it?
and I used to work for Xerox, so I have a printer that I got because nobody else wanted it. So we actually printed off our
Right here. So
Valentine's Day cards for
mineralogy
my son's
has a
school, and then it's canceled.
civil engineering tree. So I think civil engineering is supposed to be a subset, I think,
Better to have it
of
in
mineralogy. We don't know
I'll
yet.
probably bring them to school on Monday.
But I did get confirmation from
Wait, I think it's a
Raph
long weekend.
that
Bring
the
them to school on
indents
Tuesday.
for the skills
Your
or the skill
Valentine's
tree
cards.
names over here on the left
You gonna
are
bring them to
not
school on
working.
Tuesday?
So it's definitely
Monday
planned,
is
but
I
currently it
think
is
it's
not working.
History Day or something like that.
Okay, I think I got screenshots of what I wanted there. Now over
Ours
here, we
is-
start off
well,
with
it's
nothing
provincial.
in our
So
collection
most of
area.
the country is Family Day.
Okay, Flora's assayed
Manitoba is
32.
Louis Riel Day. And then PEI, it's Islander
Minerals
Day, and here it's
150.
Nova
So I'm
Scotia
wondering if
Heritage Day.
this is the total in the
So
game
every year
or
we
the
celebrate a
total
different
on this one
person
planet
that
right now.
actually influenced history in our province and made the province a better place.
Okay, what I do know is I just need to get experience. I'm
But
trying to
being
think, what tree
province,
should I go
not
down
state.
first?
True.
Should I do the ranger experience? Let's do ranger.
Hey, I think
That's a bunch of running
isn't
around.
That why like the whole rebellion against the Brits happened in the U.S. is to make it a better place.
Is it? Was
Yeah,
it?
so I want to
Or is it
revisit
break-
I don't
that
know,
or
someone
those
thought it
types of
was- it would make it a
screens
better
when I'm in
place.
space and all that kind of stuff
It's about
to
as
verify
bad-
what we see. Well, here we
bad
go.
of a wa- a
I
way
have
to make
nothing
the
right
thing
now.
as good as possible.
Here we just waited. We're just like, eventually they'll get bored of us.
So we're going to jump over in
It'll be
here.
across the
And again,
Atlantic
let me
and
know
take
if
too
the
much work
volume
to
on the
look after.
game is too loud versus my voice.
And that's why Canada is awesome.
Because they're like, well, whatever.
Okay, so we're in
pass.
space.
You won the war of attrition.
Let's go back to the skill tree.
Apparently, we also burnt down the White House.
Nothing
I wasn't
changed there.
involved in that.
Collection.
Picture got my
Minerals.
twice.
00.
By the Brits, right? and then we
Yep.
were British at the time.
Flora 00.
Almost everything was British at the
Interesting.
time.
I know there's minerals on these stones, so how far does that tool work? Let's go to the Terraformer 3.
And next month, apparently, we have Commonwealth Day. We don't get a holiday for
Okay.
that one.
Now I got to go over here to at least one stone and collect a little bit of some. Here, we'll go with this guy. There, we got some proxy. We're just going to collect a little bit out here. And then we're going to look at that screen again. Okay, so in space, minerals. It says 0 assayed, so I cannot assay them. I don't have the basic assaying feature yet, but on the planet, it told me some of them. I'm wondering if that's just a starter skill. Oh, where's the platform I just came from?
All right, how do I unlock the grav mesh recipe?
There it is.
It's in Ranger
Now,
for
when you're
100.
in space, if you hold the control key and then do A and D, you can rotate.
Ooh, there it
And
is.
then
Okay,
S
I'm gonna get me
in
some Ranger XP.
everything else is like move forward. And then just for ease of use, I just run into the ground and I'm getting a little bit better at that. So let's go back. I like this planet because it has some nice visuals. And I want to do some screenshots of some visual terrain here for my live streaming thumbnails.
Yeah, because MSC has free install.
You're okay. You're right. Before I collect things, let me hop to a different planet. 1 second here. Let's come back in. We got collections. It says 150 and 32 again on the same planet. I don't like the weird blur effect when you're near that. I know it's a intentional effect, a distortion field, but I don't know. I don't care for that effect. Now I need to remember. I want to come back to that one planet though. Okay, so I was told the lights indicate the zones right now for those of us that don't have map making and all that. So we are on or started on the blue platform. Oh, check it out. Somebody put a homestead over here or a campsite out here. That is so cool. That is something that would have been so fun in the days of Star Wars Galaxy, being able to actually build a city in space.
Just occurred to me that I can switch my tools using my mouse buttons on my Naga
Whoops.
without hitting the 1, 2, 3, 4 on my.
See, when you
on
attach,
my
gravity attaches to the wrong thing,
I'm slow.
this gets wonky. There we go. So what color am I on? I came from the blue. And I'm on red. But the problem is, from here, I can't see the colors way over there. Okay. Let me double check before I go through here. The collections, we have 00 and Flora 00 in the space zone still. Aye. I do like the sound effects that they've got created for the game. A lot of them, it might be hard to pick out in the stream, but on my home speaker system, a lot of the sound effects have a nice, deep, rich bass to them that I'm not used to hearing in a lot of games.
Abruptly at that 4-hour mark, rather than the normal me being slacky and
Waiting for player grounded.
because we are still working on our publish for tomorrow. We need to get that fully tested and ready to go. So I'm going to be quick to get out of here after that point.
Us, you'll be super tired.
Yeah. Sleeps for the week, right? We can do that. Yeah.
Well, officially, I'm working at the moment.
Huh.
Today we are open to everyone, so regardless of the group that you
there we go.
Here's your opportunity to
okay.
If you happen to miss your one previously this week,
now
this is a chance to jump in and take.
They need some sort of indication to let me know what the planet name is that I'm on.
Anything you do today, you'll be wiping your characters in the servers at the end of the day today. So keep that in mind a little bit.
Deep portals to space.
If you want to experiment with like building and stuff a little bit, I'm usually on here somewhere, and if you come find me,
let's go back over here to the skill trees.
This up a little bit if you'd like.
Let's look at collections.
Fabricator.
0150. Oh.
Otherwise,
this planet has 9 flora.
We are out of NDA at this point, so feel free to post any information you'd like about the game, screenshots, videos, streaming. Have at it.
Someone's posting gold buying shit, pardon my language, in the general or in the say chat on Rodin.
I want to buy some gold.
Okay, so it looks like this is showing us what's available in that. I'll call it a zone.
I didn't know we were there yet.
I didn't know either. I was just like, oh, I see that everywhere else. I go, of course it's here.
Okay, I'm going to drop out of their Discord channel. It's confusing me. I'm thinking I'm getting my own audio coming back. Minerals might be consistent. We'll check other planets as we travel to them. Oh, they're going to kill me.
I think I'm going to make a space kitchen.
1 second. I got to find Discord here and drop out of that voice channel. Okay. I kept thinking I was hearing my own live stream coming back as an echo. Yep, I agree, Kevin. Okay, now which platform do we think I came from? I need to go back to a blue one. I think it was this one. I don't need to, but I just liked the bright colors and flora and everything. Oh, this is green. Wonderful. So green goes to Rodin 4. Trying to remember the screenshot key. Ba dum ba dum ba dum. Bad guys. Bad guys, bad guys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Yeah, that was piss poor. Okay, so yellow seems to be Zaraxa. And I know this isn't really going to be permanent in the game, but for my own mental state here, where did I come from? I thought I came from the blues. Yes, I think that's what this is right now. Is the planets that they have right now are definitely different planet types. And there's one called Proxima. That's like Dathomir. That's got the hard stuff on it, and it's also got the best resource for the highest level metal. Gaiamar. So let me think. I think I came from here, Gaiamar. I didn't even check. I wonder if it's when you start, if it starts you on random planets. Or if everybody always starts on the same planet. Not a big deal. Cold pizza breakfast. Yeah, I don't like that distortion field. Oh, look, somebody's actually doing some building down there. Let's go to Ice Mountain. That's where I want to go. Let's Ranger Rick this. Pathfinder. So I want to work on Ranger. See, Civil Engineering was up at the top before. And now the Ranger skill's at the top. That's just confusing. It might be related to whatever tool I have in my hand. No, because the Ranger is the Pathfinder tool, which isn't in my hand. Now it is. There's one over there. Come on. Oh, people have turned this ground into junk. You gotta get away from these starting zones because people just turn them into junk. Here's what I like. When you're climbing, I see bad guys up there, and I can go left and right while climbing as well. Oh. Accidentally. Oh! I'm going to die because I'm stuck on this wall. Accidentally hit bug report. Okay. I got my keys and all that kind of stuff misconstrued. Because I accidentally triggered a bug report, not a print screen, and okay. I'm going to stay away from Swiss Cheese Mountain. We're going to start running over here to these beacons. And I'll probably die because I cannot see. Okay, come on. Yeah, their day-night cycles need to change. It seems like I am always in the middle of darkness. That really bothers me with any game that I seem to play. And I cannot select this. Okay, I had to... My tool, because I probably died or something, the tool seemed to be bugged in my hand, so I had to unequip the tool. Re-equip the tool. Okay. I just want out of the ground areas here that people have completely destroyed, but then you can see it's so dark I can't see what I'm doing, which means insta-death for me. I think there's some way to get a map on the screen of all the... a rudimentary map of the points that you've collected. It's like old ASCII text. Uh-oh. These guys attack from behind. And it doesn't help that I can't see. Yeah, traveling at night when I can't see what's going on is really irritating me. Oh, and look, it's night again. See? I just jumped off of a cliff I didn't even know was there. Well, I didn't know I was at the edge. Why is it night again? Do I just need to sit on my tail and do nothing? I'm just kind of... do a little dance party, see if I can fix my black rot. Oh, it doesn't look like it can fix your own. I gotta get out here while there's daylight. My stamina has been depleted. screenshot time. I like their biome colors here. Yeah, it's weird. You just gotta look around. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong screen. Oh, F9 is your FPS and some stuff. I'll have to look at that later. I just don't want it in screenshots, though. There's the beacon over here. Now, I am noticing I don't need to be nearly as close to those beacons. If I hold down the Alt key, I say that and then I can't get this one to trigger. I think you only need to click once, but I'm doing a double click. There we go. I kind of like that view right there. See a little bit of the caldera over there. Ooh. There's some kind of critter right there. Again, my focus is on just Ranger XP right now. Here's the problem is when I can't see a next one. There's a couple over this way. And it's dark. I'm looking for any blinky lights. There's one. But I can't see the train. I can't see monsters. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. They just have 64 locations on the planet. So to get all of them, and the locations are randomized, but the same for each person on the planet. Here's somebody's homestead. Let's use it to train. Okay, so... Oh, I don't have as much as I had hoped. I only got 90 experience right now. Let's see. Camp time, camp size, survey map. But that requires 400. Ah, that's the skill I need to see the map of all of them so far. grav mesh, flamethrower, homesteading. Okay, we just need to keep going here, guys. I see a blinky over there. No clue how far away that is or isn't. The visual distance on things is a little misleading. My bigger problem is I'm just running the risk of running into mobs because I cannot see them. Bugged out creatures, killing them off, respawning. Thank you, devs. After I get a bunch of ranger stuff here, I want to... Oh, look, there's fruit trees here. Let's collect those. I mean, it's the whole forest of fruit. Can't tell if I collected that or not. Or if it was just XP I was getting. Coconuts. Okay, so get some coconuts here. Let's look at the inventory. So first time I've picked up a lime. And I can't even see where I got it at. Is this a lime? Lemon? This looks like a lemon. Aha! Some daylight comes back. This is what I do like about a lot of crafting games or exploration games like this. It is so easy to go, oh, squirrels, and sidetrack yourself. I want ranger XP, but when you find a field of fruit trees, you gotta get the fruit. Because later, I'm going to want to do some cooking aspects, but... Okay, we'll get a couple of plants real quick. Just because it looks like there's a variety here. And then we're going back to doing Ranger Rick stuff. Okay, Ranger Rick time. I believe we can fly. Okay. I cannot sing. Do not encourage that. It would definitely be nice, like this huge mangrove trees right there with the one lime I picked up. That would be something 100% I would like to waypoint on a map. What you did with the money? Yeah. It's too easy to sidetrack. Gotta do it all. I should definitely make it a point to... Okay, I'm going to die just because I cannot seem to aim. Holy cow! Leave me alone! There was 2 of you, now there's 800. Okay, holding down and letting the gun charge did a lot better at killing those things off. Okay, now I just gotta run for my life. And I'm just gonna end up running into a mob I can't see. Here. I could put down a camp. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, right there. And... there we go. Now, I can run it around here to a couple of these. And hopefully have a safe spot to come back to. Up on the side of a mountain. Okay, that's kind of cool. If you can see, on the right-hand side of my screen, it says camp, 8 minutes and 58 seconds. Now, the question is going to be, how do I find my camp? You know, I'm running around in the dark here, and I relatively know it's behind me and to my left. I think I'm going to grab this one and then start circling back around. I don't know. There's a bunch over here. There's some bad guys over that way. Let's avoid them. there's some bad guys right here too. Well, if I die, I've at least collected a few. Whoa! Oh, great. I'm in the middle of darkness. I can't see, and I'm being attacked. Come on. Going to die trying to get this. Okay, so how would I find my camp? It says 6:15. But I can tell you right now, I have no clue where my camp is. I do like this type of ranger aspect. This is making me visit a lot of areas of the planet I normally wouldn't. There's a blue light over there, shaft of light. That's usually your starting home port. Okay, let's see if I can go get this guy. Looks like there used to be water here, and some people were just being rude and drained the whole thing. There's one. There's one. There's some bad guys at this one here. So we'll go over here and die. That's what I fell into before, is this huge. Try to run away from that mob. These are just deer. Oh, there's a blue diamond on my screen. I think that might be my camp. But I only see the blue diamond right now to the right of my screen, 753 meters. I think that's my camp. Let's go. Let's go. Whoa, how did I jump so high? Okay. Oops. Run away. See, where did that blue diamond go? Blue diamond, but now it turned red. It's turning into a red diamond. The red ones, I believe, is where I died last. Oh, yeah. There's a beacon's way over that way. I'm just gotta run across the world. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is to truly get all the XP needed for the ranger tree is actually going to take a long time because running between these points is just going to chew up a ton and ton of time. And the day-night cycles, why is it almost every game I play, it seems like the night cycle far outlasts the day cycle. I know there's a bad guy nearby, but I can't see him well enough to even remotely think about fighting him, so... Skip to my Lou, my darling. Yeah. Gathering resources on the way, I just get distracted and just do resource gathering, so... Right now... I'm just going to spend a little bit of time here doing this. How much do I have? 300. So I can train out some of this stuff. This needs like a personal light like Star Wars Galaxy had of a little press L and you get like a flashlight circle around you at least. That would help me tremendously. I see tons of mobs over by that one. I'll die trying to get him. Let's go over here to these two, or these three. Yeah, people have turned this planet into a huge pit-filled everything. I can't see what's going on. Hey, Jabe Saints, how you doing? My gamma, you can't turn up gamma in game controls. They have very limited, all you can change is screen size. Or resolution, sorry. How have you been there, Jabe Saints? This is a pre-alpha game testing of a new game that's being worked on called Stars Reach. Right now I'm working on some ranger skills, which is basically running around and collecting these points of light, or these little floating diamonds. It's because I'm using a tool in my hand that lets them show up on the map. You can see this red blinkiness over here. There we go. Now we're getting some daylight again. Let me switch tools here to this one. Gathers resources from plants. Got some bananas, lemons, it doesn't like that tree. You know, I could try that. Where? No, I don't know where the dang buttons are on this monitor. Okay, on the back. Not that one. Menu. Right. Okay, I just turned the brightness up to 100. We'll see if that helps. No, this game, unfortunately, is not Web 3 there, James Saints. This game is, I used to play, well, a bunch of us used to play a game called, there's the lime tree right there. We used to play a game called Star Wars Galaxy. And this game is being created by the creators of Star Wars Galaxy. It's heavily focused on crafting, exploration. It's going to be a mass MMO, true. So tons of players, and then you've got how best describe it? Multiple planets. They do living worlds. I don't want to fight all of them. It has some cool mechanics like this right here. I can unequip this. Come on. You can climb trees. Technically you can climb anything in the game. I just, that aspect is just, I have no idea what the purpose of that will be, other than it's cool. They did something cool, so we're good with that. Okay, let's come over and use these areas right here with the yellow fence lines. These are called camps. Look, it is already getting dark again. Dancing heals players, but not yourself. Down here you got 3 health bars. Okay, let's look. And you can also train in camp. So, I know to do a homestead, I have to have a camp of a size 3. So let's go ahead and do that one, and a homestead. Grav mesh lets us kind of like fly around. I really want to get to that. So I'm going to have to get the survey map some other time. Because I think after this play test, they're going to do a wipe. So, ranged waypoint. Let's look at that. Okay. Oh. Somebody took away my waypoint, did they? Or their camp? And the brightness on my display, if this is true night, has helped some. Far better than I had going on, but still, on my screen, it's still pretty dark. Come on. Gotta wait for my stamina so I can climb up the rest of the way here. supposed to be safe zone, but I love the deep bassy booming of that. Okay, back to here. Ranged waypoint. Unlocked the ranged waypoint skill point. Okay. Well, we got 200 left, so let's do graph mesh and grappling hook. Not sure what those are for, but that's okay. Let's look at botany. Okay, forestry. Unlocks the forestry skill set. Here's forestry. Tree planting. Okay, yeah, I want to check that out. So let's come over here to botany. Got another 100, so let's increase our yield. So we will say now combat. What do we got over here? Reflection shield on helix. It's a medical device that heals allies in range. Gravity gun. Reflection shield creates a global force that repels shots back at the attacker. And then we've got drones. Weapons creates 2 orbs. Hover nearby. Dual fire. Oh, okay. Okay, so now I need to start working on. I want to unlock the mineralogy so I can build a Xeno Slicer or a Xylo Slicer. I call it a Xeno Slicer. Now, these platforms, you can store your re-life. That means if you die, that's where you respawn at. Okay. I just need to start collecting resources like everybody else, but, you know, digging massive holes so everybody gets stuck. Let's see. Huh, he must be bugged. That's a power-up. Holy smokes. Check that power up. I like that. Whoa. They didn't. They're going to kill me. Oh, I ran into the avatar wall. Okay. Last station. I died. I don't know how I made them mad, but that was a cool thing. But I had just saved my life for, so that's okay. Now, basically, I just need experience points. So, let's do this. Now, if we could find something that would give us more than 2 XP per clip, that'd be nice. I bet you the skill will help me do that. So we're going to focus on seeing if we can level up the skill for this particular item. Whoa! Excuse me? I'm going to die inside of a mountain now. Yeah, I think we want to go to a different planet. This one is disappointing with all the pits around here. Okay, now I'm lost inside of a mountain, guys. Let's go this way. Now, these are called living planets for anybody watching. Living planets have this wonderful thing that any changes we're making to the planet are permanent. So these holes and stuff that we dig, this is a permanent change. Unfortunately, now that I'm stuck inside of a mountain, I have no idea where to go. All I know is I'm going to have to kill myself just to get out of the mountain. At least I don't lose XP. I will lose all the resources I'm collecting, though. Okay. I think the playtest is supposed to run for 4 hours. And we are currently 1 hour into the playtest, I believe. Okay, so one thing I'm finding that's working better when I'm digging with this tool is if I actually point it up at a ceiling, I seem to get a much better flattened interior. It's like, it looks like I should be digging up, but it's not. It's actually... If nothing else, I'm making a cool little interior cave. Okay, so I've got mineralogy. I've only up to 100 experience points. But yes, definitely pointing up seems to be getting me a much better cavern versus just pits in the ground. See, I have no clue where I'm at. Is this the way out? Oh, we got out. Yay. Okay. I'm going to a different planet. This I'm not liking. We could mine on an asteroid for a while. Ooh. Lots of mobs around this guy. Okay. This guy, right here. Whoa. Oh, let's see. See if I can make it into the eye of this thing without getting swarmed. Nope. Oh, that's wicked weird. They have mined out the interior of this thing, something fierce. How much XP? We're only getting 1 XP on this stuff. Okay. Well, that's interesting. It really bothers me. I can only see one platform at a time here. I don't know if I've been to Zaraxa. And we're going here. As long as I'm getting 2 XP per little tick, I'm happy. Huh. Okay. Okay, my tool got borked. Great. Now my tool's all borked. Guy put a camp around me and my tool died. Like, what is it trying to collect? You want me to come down here? I'll come down. I just need XP. Now, oh, now over here. Okay, now over there. Man. Making it so difficult. I just want to get along. I'm going to have to zone out and see if I can zone in and get my gun to go back right. Uh-oh, looks like it crashed. All right, let's restart the game. Find Discord to see if there's a bigger problem.
With combat.
Yeah.
So
But
just go
eventually
kill
you'll
stuff.
be able to purchase weapons from crafters.
Oh.
Not
Alright.
to mention the Omni Blaster is actually pretty good just off the rip.
Just for the sake of mentioning it, we are in a pre-alpha. This is a lot of systems that are kind of thrown in there to kind of show you the idea of what the game is. This is not a completed game. So if you're trying to play through a system where you're going to be progressing and getting better and better to it, you are in the wrong time to be playing.
Okay.
This is the preview of what
Okay.
is to come. It's
Okay.
not a completed by game.
Try this again.
Okay.
So like
I-
the
I
blaster
feel like
that
I'm
you
not
have right
making
now is
any
actually
progress
pretty well
on anything,
optimized.
so-
You can fight
Yeah.
just about everything on.
I'm aggravating myself here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never tested a game in alpha before. I was beta testing in Star Trek Online, but that was about it.
Yeah. This isn't even alpha yet.
Yeah, it's not even alpha.
Pretty much the whole point of this test is they've given you the tools. Like you can see people with terraformers literally just ripping the map apart. At launch it will not be. So by all means, this is your chance to
What
kind
do
of
we
dig
got
in,
again
get a
for
feel for what
Ranger
you
here?
like, and
The
start
survey
getting
map
an
would be
idea of what you can do
nice.
as they start developing.
We got the homesteading.
And then to give feedback on any problems that you see or anything you experience. 'Cause this
Do you
is a
know
time
that
when-
the last test I was able to? It was only a 2-hour test, and in that 2 hours I maxed
Okay.
out all of the mineralogy.
We might as well train up what we
That's
can with
very easy to
mineralogy
do.
here.
Yeah.
Mineralogy specifically is just stupid easy to just kind of sit in a hole and dig.
Big holes.
Yep.
Hey, I think my harvester disappeared from my inventory. Because I switched
Okay.
to the Trailblazer.
Let's
and
start by
died,
picking
and
up
I don't
civil
see the harvester
engineering.
anywhere.
I had a bug where it didn't show that all 4 of them, even though they were there.
Now let's.
Oh, the one where the icons just
So
go
civil
black
engineering
clear, but the
XP
item
is
still
different
available.
than, so it's not a dual purpose XP.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What you described in your situation of dying there.
Let's go
leave
with
a camp,
Hopper.
Or when you enter a camp, it saves your current inventory for the next
Okay.
time. If you go out and
And then let's do Hopper. Oh, that's 200.
It should.
Let's do refining for 50,
for
Bill.
some reason, if you did change your inventory, put it in your inventory, go out and die, that would end up on your corpse.
I got 57 left,
Alright,
so
so
let's
just take
start
my
with
corpse and-
other
If I can find it.
subcategory of refining.
I can't remember in
It says I have. Oh, I thought that was
in our next
50.
build, when you die, it actually lists
Okay,
in
it
chat,
triggered me.
items.
Let's go with the first one then, Bill. Let's go with sedimentary for 50.
It is bringing that up now. Like, if something was taken from your inventory, it'll show you.
And yeah.
I wonder, is there like a free way to get like basic tools?
There will
Okay.
be
There
in
are
the
several
next
of them.
Okay.
After that,
It's
you'll
just too easy to go get some of these.
we're gonna add in some quick
This
steps.
planet's nicer for the ranging. You can see a lot better all these points that you need to go get because it's
Right
more
now, like with just the stuff you start with,
more
I've
flat.
been able to build like a tool maker, stove, refinery, like all the stuff you see up at the base up top.
Okay.
Beyond that, you're kind of going to be scrambling a bit to get inert gas and a few things that you need to know how to find to make the Instaformer, and that's when you can start playing with the building systems. The only reason I don't really mess with that is because it takes a lot of work to get to that point.
That's fair. Yeah, I think I'm like more interested in like being like a, I don't know, like a craftsman or something.
Sure. I mean, as far as general like crafting, like making items, it's mostly just making tools for folks. But mineralogy, if you were interested in like mining and refining ores, there's
That's right now. There's other stuff we're going to be able to craft in the future, I'm
Yeah.
sure, not just tools.
Yeah, I'm just going off of like what we actively have available right this second. There will be further crafting to come, and when you start getting into civil engineering and a few other things, you can also like put down blocks and like make furniture and things. I believe the lathe will let you do some of that now. I'll have to play with the lathe more. Yeah, I do not.
We're going to go up to the top here, and then we're going to start.
I told you.
Yeah, I like this.
So is the
Trees are burning.
Trailblazer. It has a built-in flamethrower.
Yeah, no, they don't burn as quick as they do the.
Drones are long-range flamethrower.
Yeah.
How do I get gravity back out in space? I hit a button.
No!
If you just bump into an asteroid, it'll automatically ground on it. Yeah.
Well, this was the main thing. Alright, get back.
Oh, you can't actually
Okay,
refine tier 4
one second.
metals.
I
I'm
got-
actually going to have to hunt those down.
Rodney, it does save on exit.
Does it?
Yeah, I just, tested it.
How
I have
dare you?
Question? That's a way to phrase it.
Took me a long time to find something to kill me, but I got there eventually.
No, there is gravity.
Hi, folks. I do have a question. My name's Matt, and
So the
I've
extra
been
voices you're
out
hearing
doing pathfinding and just put down a camp, but now
are coming from the Stars
it's gone
Reach
from my inventory. It says it ends in 8 minutes,
Discord
but I
channel
don't see
for
any
the
markers on the ground
playtest.
around me showing where the camp is.
If you look around, you might see a blue diamond, and that's normally your camp. And you just follow that, and you can find your camp again.
It appears to be 10 meters underneath of me. Okay, thank you.
Ooh.
How did that get underneath you?
I put it down on a hillside, and I guess it went into the ground.
Happens sometimes.
You happen to be in the desert?
Yes.
I've seen several times people have put it on a hillside, and the hill kind of
shifts,
sleeps down and shifts down.
Yeah.
Slowly covers it.
Sand dunes are not static.
Yes.
There was someone I saw run by me with a terraformer just a minute ago.
A naughty
Yeah,
person.
they probably knocked out half of the wall.
Okay.
So you might as well climb to the top of this. Hopefully, there's less chances that people
For the
have turned it
most
into
part,
Swiss
if you're
cheese.
looking into like playing around with building and things of that nature, you might find that the temperate and jungle planets have more stable, like everything isn't sand. It might make it a little easier on you if you're just messing around.
More stable people.
More like the ground won't try to can't kill you. You can't
The
account
ball
for players.
hogs will. Like
Yes, the
in
ball,
on
yeah.
for example, I just died to 20 of them.
Okay.
I mean, what is
Right.
it? Raven 4? The temperate planet's usually pretty good for combat, which is slightly less nasty.
At least my after having to reload, my gravity or my collecting gun here is not forked.
Why are we just completely committing arson?
Rhyolite.
Because it's fun.
I know that when it burns down, another tree will be created with seeds to blow in the wind.
You must be over here. I see you.
I do like the way their ice is on top of their stuff.
That was such an innocent cackle.
Go stand in my camp. Give me XP.
Innocent nothing. Oh, I get fancy. I finally have up tier 4
I think
metal
we're
that I
going
can
to try
make.
to make a leveled out area here. We'll throw down a camp if possible inside this area that I'm going to level.
What do I want to get in trouble with now?
And if you're noticing, to get a level area, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, much easier it seems if I make sure that I'm using this harvesting tool, but pointed in an upwards fashion above my player's head. Oh, my hopper is full.
So kind of like your Minecraft building.
Okay.
Your fabricator will build decor objects, which is more of your traditional like windows, doors, things like
Now,
that.
the reason the ground is
walls.
constantly moving like this is because as I'm dumping my extra garbage, it's flowing
Terraformer is
down the
your
mountainside.
manipulation of general terrain.
Got it.
Extracting, placing just the right not
On top of it being kind of winter and cold up here, it then also freezes over on the top. So if anybody's watching any of these live streams, I much appreciate any kind of feedback and comments.
So I'm gonna be needing a
So I know
lot of
you're
things
out there.
because I need
Any
tier
questions
4
you may
metals
have,
for all 3 of them.
please ask them. And I'll see if I can answer them with what limited knowledge I've garnered so far.
Because honestly, unless I'm going back out to space, tier 4 metals are a little
Okay,
hard to
let's
come
see if
by.
we can put a camp.
Tier 4? No, they're not.
All you gotta do is go by the lava.
I found a bunch of tungsten last playtest, just
Yeah,
mining through the ground.
There's a load of it around.
I found lava like somewhere on Gaiamar, but it was all just shale around a pool of lava.
Somehow,
So have you
fail.
investigated the prospecting skill yet?
I have messed with it. I might see if I can pull something up in that deeper hole that I found.
If you use the prospecting, you can actually search for resources.
Back into the inventory.
It'll give you an idea of how much is actually
Good
on
to
the
know.
planet
The
if you
camp
increase
didn't
your
get
ascent.
used. It's struggling with the
okay,
camp.
higher levels of the skill. That is something I haven't messed with yet.
If you increase the assaying, it'll tell you a little bit more numerical values. If you go to prospecting and you cycle through the resources
Here?
that you can search for, that
Oh,
gives
it
you an idea
worked.
what's on that planet. It will only tell you which ones are there.
Got it.
I just died from burning trees.
I can't see one of the lava survey
G.
points. I know where it normally is, but I don't see it.
Oh, it's a
I bet someone
homestead.
like mined
Check
underneath
it
it and it went
out.
under the lava.
There's one directly on the burnt hill across the lava.
Oh, there's normally, like, actually having to cross into lava, there's like 3 of them. The rest are all around the edge of it. But I can't see one of them in here.
Oh, time to go be a mine monkey.
We're having trouble with or actually the G key just not working or something, or do you maybe have to just log out and back in it maybe?
When mine locks up like that, I have to log it back in. Like a refresh doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
And I know that within the next 20 minutes it'll probably crash.
I have had instances of specifically with the homestead to go into the settings. The G key won't answer. But
I think Saturday, tomorrow, there's another place.
Never mind, it just suddenly started working.
I think my main focus
I'm not sure why, but
for Saturday is I'm going to try to do more with the plants and cooking. I think I'll just kind of focus the rest of this one here on unlocking mineralogy trees.
And I haven't made up a record step, but I'm thinking that's actually happening. So while the first one is just the option, it's actually targeting somewhere else. And that's why it's not happening.
Gotcha.
I've seen that.
I just can't figure out steps to repro it to really track it down yet.
This is dangerous.
The joys of development.
Next time it happens to me, should I mention it? And
So you can see it flow down the hill from this angle.
I mean, the key
That
thing would
is
be just
cool.
remembering what you did beforehand to get into the state. That's the part that I can't catch right now, because once you're in the state, I can see that it's targeting wrong, and that doesn't help me there. It's how to get into it.
Is it standard between everything, like whether or not it's coming from like the barrel or like your camera?
It depends what so
Yeah, as soon as you point towards the ground, it goes a lot deeper into the ground. Then, and it's harder to keep a flat kind of floor area. So to the right, the center of the screen, there's this vertical yellow bar that's filling up. Those that don't know, that bar is showing the tool I'm using has what's called a hopper. And when that fills up, I can no longer collect anything.
So Gaiamar does not actually
then
have tier 4 metals. I might have to go to.
I have to empty the tool of all the junk that's piling up in it. So I'm going to come over here.
Now I know.
And lower right of the screen, it says hopper deposit. If I press the letter
Shit,
Q, there's no visual or sound indication.
I'm gonna have to.
I hit the
eventually
Q,
the desert planet.
we wait for a second, and you can
spent
see
an
it
excessive
deposited
amount of
some of
time
that
on
hopper's
jungle,
junk
Slimer.
onto the surface.
Yep, that's
I could
where.
give you
Think of it
tours
as
if you ever
gravel.
want.
Now I'm just pressing
Well,
Q a
that's
whole
where
bunch of
I
times.
started.
I'm
the
trying to
last
empty
test and like
this
have my
hopper
refinery
out.
set up. So I've been wanting to stick there, but for like some of the higher metals to build a larger refinery, I'm going to need to eventually go to space. My problem.
And because this is like depositing a gravel, that gravel kind of flows and cascades down the side
Yeah, I
of
know
the
where it's
cliff
been
here.
on previous tests.
And that's
I
why
just assumed that it would be
you're
in the
seeing
same
what you're
place.
seeing.
Are you thinking
Because these are called living planets.
The one in the lava, like in the lava.
Yeah, it's
Or
definitely,
normally it's right at the very edge, but I don't see it. There's.
it's definitely in the lava. I can see it there.
Okay, so now we come back in here and
Is that my fault? I am digging
did
right
you-
next to the lava pit.
It's like towards them. There's three lava puddles, and it's the biggest one. So it's not the ones that are around the hill. There's a big one.
So what actually
Here
makes
we go.
black
Who's
soil?
taking damage down there? Is that you, Rod?
Yeah.
I'm in space. I don't.
That's the other.
Perfect.
Is there an indicator of some kind where you can like see where your homestead is if you wander away?
Blue diamond.
Okay, let's make a little bit taller ceiling.
Okay. So I just kind of got to remember where it was. Thankfully, I left it nearby. Honestly, that's kind of why I've been settling near the portal for the time being, to make it easy to come back.
So I'm toying around with this, just trying to get a better feel for if I was really playing the game, using this tool as is, how could I kind of make my own little area? And
I'll just save to my camp so that it saves all my stuff in the code. Pick a fight, kill
just
me,
seeing
and
what I
go
can do
respawn
here.
at the main portal.
You
But
can also just
the other main aspect here, so I'm trying to get
No,
experience
it's a slash camp. It's
so I can learn what these crafting trees do.
Only if you've relifed there.
Yeah. Which I do sometimes if I'm out someplace where I think I might die. And I don't want to have to run back.
Gotcha. That is a fair point. Ooh, massive lava pit.
Jeez.
Sadly, the metals I need are not here, but it's pretty.
Rod's in the lava. Oh, he's
I
out.
really-
He's safe. He's alive.
Really want them to get the server to a point where they don't have to do server resets, because right now, you know,
love
they
that
have the
my
XP and
entire
everything
job this
sped
whole
up,
playtest
but
has
still,
just
it doesn't matter if it's sped up.
mineral
It still
surveying.
takes a lot of, you know, playtime here. I'm sure I could do
Literally,
things faster, but it takes a lot of
It's one
playtime.
of the guilds is doing like a bunch of like ecological and geological surveying.
Okay, I got another
just trying to
200
figure out
points
how
here.
animals
So
and minerals
let's
work in the game.
increase the hopper, so we have to empty less
There's
often.
entire like role-playing guilds already forming. It's
So let's go
ridiculous
ahead
I
and
love it.
hit this.
Like Gunk straight up is messing around with the animals and seeing how they can make random things happen. Like yesterday it was, hey, if we go up to a Velocirabbit with a helix, will it make it a not Velocirabbit? Nope, and it ate me. Okay.
I suspect their AI is going to change a lot more in their behaviors. So Gunk's gonna have a lot more research going forward.
Yeah, but it's still fun. Just like, you know, they're going off doing all that, and I'm like, I'm digging a hole, guys. Here's what you can find on these planets.
I'm just interested in this game because I don't play it.
How's your work day going there, Kevin?
I haven't played any of them. I'm here because it sounds cool.
I mean, I tried to get into Galaxies. My problem was mostly I started as a non-combat class, and starting out as a dancer kind of sucks.
Yeah.
What?
I rather enjoyed that.
I'm just
In the
doing boring
original days
collecting
for
and getting
Emu days.
screenshots as I train each
Emu
box.
days.
Yeah, it won't work.
You
on
know
these
why.
days 'cause that community was lost back from when it originally was
Yeah.
dancers and docs.
When it first came out, that was prestigious and easy.
That's right, yeah.
Like, because everybody needed a dancer
I
to
started
keep
a
diving.
Discord channel
No,
for
we needed the buffs.
just kind
We
of
needed the enhancements for
putting
the
in
dancers
some links
and
as
the
well.
doctors. So you paid.
There was like full bands with dancers and stuff.
Yeah.
Whisper, you still around here?
Yeah, with the emu communities, it's not as big
Community
anymore,
led,
unfortunately.
I used to love
Mostly
it. You would sit down in a row to be the next person to see the doctor, to have the buffs applied to you, and you would pay them, and there would be orderly lines of people to wait to see the doctor next to get their buffs, and then you would go to the dancers and you'd go and see them, and then you'd tip them for those buffs as well.
I'm just watching Rod tick 40 damage constantly while inside lava.
Is he
And
in
not
God-
die.
But I
is
did
he in
make
God mode?
myself
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in God mode, or else
um,
this wouldn't be possible.
a homestead.
Don't
So
agree.
this is what a homestead looks like versus
Do
a
not
camp.
question
Can I
your new
see
god.
it?
Do you have the Pathfinder on?
Permissions?
Yes, I can see it. It's right there.
Is it floating above the
Owner. Okay. We now
Yes.
know they will have eventually
And then I gotta
some sort
run
of
someplace
permissions
and
going
get on
on.
fire, and I'll go and grab it.
I
don't want you to
just
grab it
It's
yet.
when it's clear. Oh, man.
Is somebody just like mass like ripping down trees? Holy shit!
It's down on the shore again.
Should I move it this direction? Go a lot further.
It's up. Yeah, I think if you brought it down right now, it'd probably end up in the lava. It's going out.
Yeah, my
It's
homestead
out
was a
mesh right
camp.
now.
Positioning it inside
Oh,
of
saying
the
I'm dying?
hole I
Oh,
was
I'm
making
dead.
was rather difficult.
Oh, you were definitely on fire up there.
Because
I
the
totally
ceiling
am.
wasn't tall enough.
I'm
It
ran out
wanted
of
to sit
stamina.
on top of the mountain. Like in the distance, if you're looking right now, there's a guy's camp over there on top of the mountain. That's what it wanted to do at first, even though I was trying to put it inside of
That's a
my
thing,
cave. I basically
myself a
needed the
real
cave to be bigger with a taller ceiling.
Moved it to now.
But yeah,
It'd be good.
and then I upgraded this camp to a homestead.
It'd be
Oh,
good so
my
then you
hopper
can be
is
a
full.
dancer sat at a teleportation place, but then you can also
And then because these things are a simulated planet, when you deposit this gravel, you can
see
watch
someone
it
else's
flow down the
screen, so you
mountainside.
can watch someone else play whilst dancing.
There was, I believe, some ideas Raph had, specifically with like journalism and things.
Mm.
He was spitting the idea of like being able to put your own Twitch stream into like an in-game message board to link people to it so that they could actually watch your stream.
That one should be accessible now, Rod.
I do love that idea of not quite to the full extent of like a life within a life, a la Second Life, but letting influencers actually have a presence in the game as well as out. It's kind of a neat crossover.
Well, it'd be unique.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and I made the mistake of getting the attention of 10 of these big things.
Which one?
Ball hive?
The big one or the small one?
The big one. 10 of them.
Oh, there's a whole herd. Okay.
Yeah.
At that point, honestly, kite them.
Kind of like.
Start kiting them and picking them off.
Kill them, take their stuff.
Getting some shirt up above me.
I died.
They freeze you or burn you, or jump on you.
At least it's not the space roach. Fucking space roaches, man.
Made a skylight.
Or God forbid the giant ball hive that summons roaches when it dies. Or the roach swarm. I hate him. I honestly should have probably started on Rodent 4 because most of the mineralogy stuff plays better there, but I was eager to just get started and played on whatever planet I spawned in on.
For some reason,
Desert makes for some fun times if you're playing around with the chrono phaser. Like, a lot of the using chrono phasing and heat to create minerals.
It's Rod. We just want to move.
No movement for you.
I put it out.
Rod's a griefer.
Of course he is. He's a sysadmin. They've got to have their fun somehow.
He's not a sysadmin.
Oh wait, I could have placed a camp for them.
I wonder if it will let you mine past the blue wall, even if I can't walk there.
I'm honestly very curious to see how they're going to develop the ranger trees. I could totally see ranger being like a good, kind of like the entertainer's great for like healing and buffing. The ranger's probably going to be there to supply a camp and do things that most of the more combat focused folks aren't going to have.
I think ranger's going to be mostly transversal.
How much XP do I have?
Things
150.
that'll increase like your ability to move easier.
We can
that
unlock
like
3 of these, so let's do that.
That and the grappler
Whoa.
and the grab mesh come from their tree as well.
My cave is slippery. I'm running around. Let's.
I could totally see them developing more into.
Where's my save point? Now that this
putting down
is
camps and things seems to be tied intrinsically to how they get XP.
I'm just going to have
So I
to
could
assume
totally see them being
I'm
the
saved.
ones managing camps.
Let's go
Well,
with
since you don't play
other.
Star Wars, the Ranger in Star Wars Galaxies, they are the ones who make the camps. They have the best harvesting from creatures.
Huh.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so much stuff appeared on the screen.
I always
We can't really see
liked,
everything that
what I
appeared.
saw of Galaxies. I just missed the non-emu days, and the emulated servers aren't quite doing it.
I found one I really like and a bunch of people I really like, but the PvP is absolutely toxic and I hate it. And if you want to be a Jedi, it's just pure PvP. It's awful.
Yeah. My problem is I always want to be a role player. So like the dancers, doctors, and the non-combat roles that don't seem to get a lot of play anymore.
See, the mushrooms never
On the combat tree, if I chose tri-shot, how do I do that?
Either Q or E, one of those two.
So when you
No,
select
try
one
shot is
box, so you'll see the two rings at the bottom.
Definitely increasing the hopper size
Completely
on this
forgot
guy
the radial menu of-
is a must. It definitely has let me go
I
do
have played this entire time and not
much
even
more.
thing because I forgot I had them.
Said something is too low. I'm not sure what was too low. I didn't catch the message. Oh, I got some chalk now.
Dude Blossom's a fun one, but you really got to play around with the range on
I got payback on that herd of bellhives.
it. There you go.
Kill them all.
With prejudice.
Oh, very much so.
The last playtest I was on for a couple of hours, I never went into space. What was I missing out?
Yeah, no.
Space is an incredible adventure.
Put some good metal there as well. Tungsten.
Yes. A lot of your T4s, I think, come from space too, if I'm not mistaken.
You get
I
iron
never
there
found
as
iron,
well.
and I just found it within 30 seconds of going into space.
All right.
Iron
I
in
know.
those asteroids, yeah.
Good deposit.
Now I
of
gotta
it
be
on
careful not
Guymer.
to completely cut this thing out
I-
because
I know. Good
the whole
deposit
mountain
of
above my head would
Proxmesis,
collapse.
The mushrooms, they've got iron there.
Other players have proven this.
My bad. That's my
Magnesium.
Chromium, magnetite, iron.
Those are your tier ones.
Yeah.
Chromium's a tier 3. Iron's tier 1.
Yeah. I need, let's see, magnesium. I need palladium, titanium. Tier 4s are a little harder to get.
There's still plenty of tungsten in space, just on the edges of asteroids. You'll see it as a different color.
Okay,
Well, I
it says
can cross-
full.
None nearby. Okay.
Uh-oh. I'm on fire.
Would I be looking for the smaller or the larger asteroids for tungsten deposits?
Ooh, 9 to
Smaller ones,
3.
The little broken up ones.
Got it.
More of
On
the
the
ceiling
edges
needs
of
to
the-
go away,
On
folks.
the outside of them.
It appears like the heart of this
Here we
asteroid
go.
cannot be.
Yeah, it's like
Mm.
it's like the bedrock. It can't be.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
what I thought, too.
bedrock.
Okay.
Not only is it like it, it is
It is.
Can you place a homestead on it?
Yes.
Hmm.
You can place homesteads in space.
Yeah, I saw it in space. I didn't know if you'd be able to put it on
Okay,
the
back
bedrock or
to
the core.
get
If
XP so
you
we
dig
can see
down on
what
the
we
planet
get when we
tiles,
unlock
you
it.
should be able to place it there.
Some of the planets are lava-y.
Yeah.
Yeah. So currently, all the maps they're using are the same.
Nope.
They're
Entirely.
procedurally generated.
Yeah, so the 4 that we're in play at the moment is generated, but they can essentially create the map. There is potential that
Someone made holes and it looks like a skull in this build. It's great.
At least we haven't had people racing for TTP. Or if they have, I haven't seen it.
You're. I keep missing that message. My something is too low out. I want to say my battery, but I'm not replacing the battery.
That was like minutes.
that, like, as soon as I mentioned it's an open world sandbox, it's like, how long before the statues appear? Oh no.
I mean, UO coined the term, and even in UO, the first MMO, it was minutes.
Tool battery too low. That's weird because I'm not
I wish
replacing
I
the
could have
tool
played UO
battery.
in its heyday.
I'm going to have to guess that they purposely. Who the heck are you?
I suspect I missed it. Not male. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it is. Just think about it.
It's only a matter of time before somebody draws
No,
a penis.
Man, I've never bothered to draw penises. I
It,
don't
it's
particularly
also
get the obsession with them.
Well, have
it's
you
also
tried it?
very much a millennial thing, especially me coming from an all guys high school. It happened all the time.
Okay, we got
You should try it out just to
146.
see what it's like.
Let's see. Let's do igneous this
Draw a
time.
penis to see what it's like. No, I think I'm all right.
I mean, there's
You'll
people
never
that make
understand
entire
them.
careers from that.
What?
Oh, we can do alloys. So let's do
Just
alloys.
randomly drawing things. Like artists make bank, man.
Okay. Now we need to unlock stuff like
last I knew, there's a reason they
chronophasing
call 'em starving
and
artists.
assaying. So
Depends. If you know the right communities and can market to them, good money in it.
As a graphic designer, I made a grand total
My
of
hopper
$15
is
an hour.
full.
I wouldn't say that I made bank.
Like I said, yeah, it's more very niche communities are willing to spend a lot of money if you are willing to draw the weird things they request of you.
Ooh. I almost fell off the mountain. Well, I did fall.
Especially the furry community. If you're willing to deal with some of their
Are you
oddity.
a professional wiener drawer?
No, but I know friends that are. It is kind of ridiculous the amount of money you can make drawing weird things.
Walking out of the door of my cave base is treacherous.
Yeah, tungsten. Now, if only the sky sharks would leave me alone long enough to harvest. Honestly, I'm just waiting for the massive boss space shark, just because.
crash.
Get some.
It's really unhappy that you're leaving.
Oh, they're coming around.
That happened to me too. I had to eventually
I am
log out
partially
'cause that
curious if I
truck
collapse the mountain on top
it
of my
crashed when I
camp,
logged out. So that's related.
what happens?
Same thing.
That's normally what happens with me. I crash out when I log out and fix the G problem, or within a couple of minutes I actually do end up crashing for another reason or another. For one reason or another. Whoa, my keyboard's good.
The G problem too, you may not have to log out if you try leaving the planet and coming back. Sometimes switching maps.
The problem is you have to press G on the portal and it doesn't work. That's what I tried.
Yeah, you can't leave if you
well,
press G.
Are you zoomed all the way out?
No, I tried out there.
Okay.
And it started
It's
after,
finicky.
and it started after changing to a different planet.
Have you flicked between free radical and radical with the T key?
I did not try that.
Because that sometimes will help. Really.
One thing I
a
noticed
lot.
leading up to it, I was trying to harvest some plants, and it was not aiming where my mouse was, so it seems like there was some kind of desync there.
Yeah,
that happens.
If you switch to reticle targeting and back, sometimes it realigns your targeting.
Good. Good to know for future.
Do Horde Lords fly in packs of 3? Because that's very scary.
Well, yes, because the master. Well, I'm not going to give it away, but yeah.
Oh god, there's boss creatures that were
I'm just gonna crawl. Oh no, there's 4 of them. Oh no, I'm just gonna sneak around these guys.
I'll just say the boss is the Horde Master, not the Hordes.
So how good is our physics? And technically,
Your character's
this
saved
side of the mountain
locally
should
or,
not
like,
be
on
able
a
to float.
server?
Oh god, it's an MMO, always on the server.
Okay.
Or at least it will once they get to that point in testing. Every now and again they do character waves. While
They did
we're in
the
testing
last
phases.
one. I noticed that
Regularly,
make a
they
new
do wipes.
character.
Yep. There's one coming for this Saturday, so today's the last day, and then it will all be wiped again.
Yep. So you'll get a nice clean slate for the 6 hour tomorrow. Enjoy it.
Okay.
Sad out of
So I'll use today to get the hang of the game.
And then tomorrow, go ham and destroy everything. What?
Did you check your invites?
Dig a bunch of holes
Their
everywhere that people can fall in.
angles
Trying to get somewhere.
to see if
You kidding? I'm just
you
doing
got email
all in on the
invite yet.
strip mine.
I think tomorrow's one we might have a little bit of help with anyone wanting to build. I think they're going to give a few tools away rather than having to get the resources for them.
I'm still trying to figure out because like I got like a full resource hopper, but I don't know how to translate that to like.
Press the letter Q on the train around you, like get out of wherever you're digging to the surface. Press the letter Q.
Oh, you know what? They did say something about stuff doesn't collapse inside of a base or your homestead. So now that this is a homestead up
that's
here,
like,
I
that's not
wonder
actually,
if
like dumping out the good stuff.
I can truly have a floating
Stuff
mountaintop.
already went into your inventory, so just dump
We're gonna
that.
find out.
Okay, thank
You
you.
don't need it.
Yeah, because I kept like dumping it and then like trying to pick it back up. Like, no, I need that.
Big gold
I
rush
appreciate you.
washing the rocks.
Do y'all feel the lag when shooting your gun? Like
occasionally.
Also, I've noticed the Omni Blaster doesn't home as nicely as it has at the moment. Not sure if
you
that
know
was
what?
just a lag thing.
It like lags behind your cursor, right? Like that kind of worries me a lot.
My hopper is full.
Oh, why'd I die?
Just a reminder, these aren't released servers, so
Yep.
currently, right now, our projectile system does a return trip. So when you fire, it's attempting to hit the server, come back, and then your client will update. Our client prediction is currently in progress. It's part of our combat revamp that
Okay.
we're working on,
It's
and
PCP.
we're hoping to have that out in the next soon.
Yeah.
We've been wanting to get that out for the last like 3 months.
Yep.
But everything comes into play and gets more important. Look at the fact that the combat is
It's a little janky, but it's better than it was.
Pre-alpha, you can't
Yeah.
expect anything more.
Exactly.
I think it was very smart to get more people in prior to the Kickstarter.
Yes.
It gives everybody a view to see what what's capable, rather than a blind view of someone's images.
Has the cost of it been released yet?
What, the Kickstarter?
Yeah.
No, nothing's been released yet.
Okay.
The idea behind Kickstarter isn't a single purchase to go in and say, hey, I want to just provide.
I know there's a tool that helps flatten ground, but I highly doubt I can get the resources I need for that dang thing. I was trying before in the other play test.
Stuff like that, and I want to say yes, I'm excited.
I
For you.
wish
Here, have $5, or there may
your
be
tool battery is
that
too
are
low. That is weird because
Well, they said that at the highest tier you can get your own planet and design a planet. That had me interested. But I had no
okay,
idea.
so we have a floating mountaintop. It appears.
well,
Nope,
Climb with
nope,
Wrath,
nope.
that's got to
That
be
still
minimum
could be
10 grand.
connected.
I mean, things like design your own
No.
planet and stuff like that are not necessarily intended for an individual. That's
Boom! There goes the rooftop.
I had no concept of
That was cool.
what that would be.
My base is somewhere in there though.
My best advice in that is go look at Kickstarter and look at other MMOs that previously have been on Kickstarter, and you'll see an idea of like kind of idea you see it. Or another example I'd use, like take a look at Path of Exile, for example. They do different every time they're doing
Stretch goal.
I don't know what it is. They usually do like different packs, and they range the prices.
Oh, they're founders packs.
Founder packs. You get the cosmetic packs. This is like the first one, $50. Maybe look at some of the packs.
So the homestead did not keep the mountaintop float.
Perks and stuff that come with them, which is the same thing that a Kickstarter usually does too. Is we'll provide various different types of perks and things that you're getting as purchases with it. But ultimately, the idea behind a Kickstarter is to show support for the company and help us continue our development.
Now I have to try to find my homestead control panel.
And Wrath, but they're also my age and have played, like the UO and Star Wars and all that.
There's certainly a clientele that have fit into that certain age group, or I don't want to say age group, but certainly
That's old
have
people.
played previous games that some of the developers I've worked on. There's certainly Raph brings in a crowd from UO, from Star Wars Galaxies. Dave.
So I cannot see that I'm in my home base.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, it was
Oh, I didn't know that EQ Next on Landmark had ties to this too. Oh, wow.
I can't see the yellow fence, but I was able to train. It's like a hidden base under a mound of rock.
Oh, yeah. This whole project is just one huge passion project for people that have been massive figures in the industry, and that's kind of what drew me to it.
But that also
like myself, like a massive contributor to the industry. Even myself, I've been in the industry for over 20 years. I've worked on everything from EverQuest, Star Wars Galaxies, pretty much every product that Sony Online did in one way or another. I touched at some point.
But it's not the front person that does it; it's everyone in the group. So everyone
All right.
to that.
I have yet to find anything that like quite scratches the itch of that open world sandbox, quite like the old. Like honestly, the closest thing I found in recent years was the PvP around that.
So here's the thing that I found, because I've been chasing the dragon ever since EverQuest, 20 plus years. It's the people you're dealing with. And the sense of community has completely disappeared.
And that's part of what I love about this game is like even here in like very early stages of alpha, it's like we've already got guilds forming. We've already got like
Okay,
role
it's
players
floating. How
sitting
long, guys?
in the Discord and chatting and planning things. It's like they don't seem to be going anywhere.
I have been no-lifing Star Wars Galaxies on Emu server because of the people I'm playing with. If it hadn't been for them, I would have bounced a long time ago.
That's honestly part of why I stuck with Final Fantasy XIV too, because that community is amazing.
But I remember back in the day of EverQuest,
I have a
where
homestead control
if you're
panel
a
in here
giant,
somewhere.
you'd never get a group. That's gone.
Big thing with I think it's Elite Dangerous too. Like there's the one group whose entire thing is they just fly around fueling people. The fuel rats, it has reached the point where if it is found out that you have ever attacked the fuel rats, you're persona non grata across the server. You will not get help from anyone. And just those kind of mini things are great. Eve's got some of it, but Eve as a whole leaves a bad taste in my mouth, mostly because of the hardcore aspects of it.
Yeah, but there's also, and you just mentioned hardcore. Nobody has time, at least in our age group, 40s with families, to no-life a game and sit in one spot for hours in the group, harvest, just grinding experience and like EQ.
Yeah,
I can't commit to those times anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I love this game, because like in a 2-3 hour gap, I've at least like, sure it's not enough to build an entire refinery and build a city, but for one singular person you can definitely get your pre-build, get some
I'm
progress.
trying to see if I can find my homestead.
I'm sure they'll adjust and stuff for all that.
True.
Everything's overpowered.
That would be awesome. There, Kevin.
But once we get closer to release, too,
Don't know
they're
if you
probably
saw
gonna
it, but I
fine-tune it so you can at
collapsed
least get some feeling of
the mountaintop
some manner
on
of
top
progression.
of my homestead. I cannot see the wall or anything of my homestead. However, if I come in here, I can train. So if you come in here, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll do chronotology 1 here.
Still more of a jump jet kind of thing, where it has a little bit of stamina and stuff.
It definitely is triggering it.
Not the long distance that you can do right now.
So I have successfully,
And from what I'm
completely,
hearing, too,
100% hidden
trees as a whole
my
are going to
homestead.
spread out, so there's probably going to be more low to mid tier abilities in between to play with on the way up.
Speaking of chasing, is there a wipe between the two events, today and tomorrow?
Yep.
One of the things I've heard about this game, the skill trees, is that they will be very much akin to Star Wars Galaxies.
Part of me says I should bug list that. Part of me says, heck no. Hidden base.
Well, there's
Noonish.
there's no classes. It's profession based, so everything's skill based. There's no mage.
I can't find the terminal to even try. I don't know.
Skill.
Yes, you'll only be able to have so many skills active in practice. If you want to use different skills, you'll have to let some, decay basically, and there'll be cooldowns and stuff.
Great.
Okay, so there's going to be some manner of respecking later on.
Yeah, you'll basically just set a skill out of practice, and then you can start learning a new one. You don't ever lose skills; they just fall out of practice, and you can't.
And confirmed in
Okay.
chat. You
Perhaps
never
you could
lose
call it
skills.
like a deck, isn't it?
They
You only
just
have so
Yeah.
many
let you
available
temporarily
to have,
disable them.
but you can interswap them, but you don't lose the XP that you've gained on what
Yeah.
you've done in the past.
It's very much like you're deactivating one to use another, but if you ever need to call on it, you can switch your loadout again.
Yeah, and it takes time to do that.
Cool.
Yep, they fall out of
I like
practice. That's just what they're calling it, but you don't have to relearn it. It just, he said that there's a cooldown time to get it reactivated. Right before he said fall out of practice, he said there would be a cooldown time.
That's the
So
point of the
basically, you
cooldown,
can't
is
switch
that
between
you
them
can't just
instantly.
master everything and instantly swap between, crafter and combat or whatever.
Hey, there will be spaceships, right? You can pilot them.
Yes.
Can you ride on your friend's spaceship? Will you do that in the cards?
Possibly.
Possibly. 'Cause
I have
feel like that's what was
lost
missing from like No Man's Sky.
my
You can't aim the same
homestead.
ship from her.
I think Rav talked about guild ships where you could all go and have somewhere.
Yeah. That might not. That's probably not something that they're going to get done by launch, but it is, on the roadmap.
Star Wars Galaxies could get a multi-person craft and have an entire team set up on the ship, so that some people.
I'm not
can
following
steer
with
the
a
ship,
month.
others can
I
use
didn't
the
catch
guns,
that.
and
What
you
were they
have the
saying,
pilot.
or what are you referring to?
Yeah.
I could totally see like allowing guilds to build up like a large ship that they use the both ways.
I don't think we've even
Oh.
had like ship combat.
Hopefully, it's not that long. It'd be quicker to regrind them at that point. So,
Oh, there's nothing.
some tweakage. Wrong button.
So far we're focused more on the base ground game, which is kind of, where the meat and potatoes is going to be. The rest of that is going to be a little bit further.
It would be like the equivalent of the original Star Wars Galaxies, and then Jump to Lightspeed came along.
I love the fact that you put a gravel or sand
That
on a
was,
ledge. It flows
not
down
Empire
the
War,
side. You
but there
can't
was
just
like a
use it
large
as a
update that
foundational
focused
block
on the war
when it
between
has
the
no
Empire
real
and the
support under it.
Rebels that added a lot of space combat. Like I said, I never played it, but I remember it.
167.
Jump to Lightspeed was the add-on that
Essaying.
actually introduced the ships in space.
These are not really doing much here as far as
I
skill certifications or
I
anything.
really
The other ones did.
into it. I can't remember exactly where it was. I remember the Galaxies community specifically hated one update that completely changed the game.
NGE.
NGE.
There it is.
I can't quite remember. Remember, it's the thing that made Raph Koster quit Sony.
Yeah.
Really?
Combat upgrade was when they brought in the Jedi Village, which was just a quick way to try and get everyone to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
So everything before CU was really
Yield.
grind. It's hard work.
The rate of extraction.
I
I
say
just
that like
thought
I
it
know
would give you
anything about it,
more.
but I wasn't
didn't
there.
think it would speed
Rodney,
it up.
you were.
Oh, Raph has talked about it before. They had everybody in a meeting room.
Okay,
And they were,
I'm not in my
proposing this
homestead.
thing, and they were all, "Oh, we're gonna gain X amount of players," and Raph was the only one to say that they were gonna lose players, and yeah.
Lo and behold, there it is.
It was
I
right
saw a
after
fence.
WoW was
I saw a brief outline of my yellow
and they're
fence.
like, oh, we got to be like, wow, they're taking all the characters, so they completely redid the game and just destroyed it.
To be fair, Sony wasn't the only one. Remember,
I just love listening to this community because they are 100% the same as us there, Kev.
Yeah.
WoW had a large it made the game accessible for players, but it also alienated a lot of
Okay, we need to, since it's actually increasing the speed and not just saying instead of 2 you get 3. that means I'm getting, I bet you, more XP per minute as well.
What was that like? Did you stay after Rat left?
I've been in and out of disaster. And Raph didn't leave directly because of that change. It was very similar.
Yield, I wasn't expecting XP. Yield, I was just expecting, okay, let's say you collect 2 stone every second. I was expecting you collect 3 stone every second, but nothing to do with XP. The yield is what I was seeing as just simply the quantity I received, nothing to do with the XP or the speed. Yeah, I already did the hopper.
I never got to play that one, but I remember
that way I can just sit here and
one of my buddies said
chip away a lot more.
I love the movies, and we'd just sit for hours listening to him talk about it. That was the one where they killed Morpheus too, like canonically where that came from.
Yeah, there was an expectation that like these were going to be bigger, more important canonical things. Like that was what was thrown around early on in SWG too. There was this feeling that like, okay, the prequels are the prequels and we can't erase them, but the spirit of old Star Wars lives on in SWG.
And then there was the worst game launch in history, Anarchy Online.
I love just listening to the community here at Stars Reach because it's
Oh,
all of our
God.
brethren.
I was there at launch. It was... Oof.
It got better.
It got better.
And they like the same
I,
references.
I remember doing WoW beta, and then the launch.
They turned me into a mute. Oh, I got better. $136.
When it
I
first
need
started,
200.
it's
Okay.
a lot different.
When in vanilla WoW, the open world PvP was a bigger deal.
What was it? Dark Shore? Is that where everybody would go and die?
The hill, when they used to run down the hill.
Now it's all like instanced PvP.
So the thing is they realised what they lost, the massive changes,
Stuff, but the thing that WoW did with a lot is they made it making it more accessible. Is they definitely alienated a lot of people that wanted to dump what they acquired was making it more accessible. Far outweighed it. Which is why you saw that industry change dramatically. Where every game went that route of trying to make it very accessible.
Well, the way I remember it, and you can correct my numbers, please, but like there was this expectation that something like 1 million concurrent or a million total subscribers across all MMOs was the belief that that was the market space for MMOs, and Galaxies was huge, 250,000 in sales that first year or something, and then WoW came along and in a couple of years snagged 7 million subscribers, just broke the market wide open. You would be a terrible business person if you didn't look at that and adapt your game to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a way to
As
craft
much as-
more than one item at a time?
There is not, but several of the items that you craft, like building items, it crafts 10 of them at a time.
Gotcha. And what's artisan craft?
The artisan crafting
Artisan
is
yeah.
currently disabled.
Okay.
That is the ability to customize your crafting to basically make your own variation of it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I have a question about this game, rather than reminiscing. The style of graphics. Was that... Yeah. You know, it's almost like Fortnite style. Well,
what's the question?
But, yeah, right. What was the decision making like this rather than this?
The theme that has gone forward with this is 50 sci-fi. So if you think back in the old business and stuff like bubble shapes,
Well, I have collected a lot of mountain, but by doing this, we will now
I'm getting a
know
lot of like Starstruck vibes. Yeah.
all we need to know.
Is this the Jetsons? In some ways, yes. I mean, that kind of not exactly. You know, we weren't aiming for cartoon. You know, we're not trying to go for a cartoon necessarily. We have some things that look very realistic, like our furry and things like that. But
It's
more
more like
looked at it.
whole
It's
time.
a lot of MMOs are very dark and everything. We didn't want to have that. We wanted to have kind of an uplifting feeling to it. That's what we aimed our
Also,
still developing.
when you chase realism, you know those games don't tend to age well.
I've had a lot of friends not playing games because like it's like too dark or whatever, or like it's not like vibrant.
What did I just hit?
We actually had
E. I hit scan.
somebody go in Discord once and analyze the color usage within Stars Reach and why some people felt that it was a kids game because of the colors that were being shown in the previews and all that. So yeah, color communicates a lot.
But I think if you take the average age,
No. But the tones that it's using are a more welcoming tone. It's less gritty.
and I think when we get from that point of view.
Where's my homestead?
There's a removal mode.
Slightly, the colour will change slightly.
Gotcha.
I know I put my keys around here somewhere.
A gray and an off gray. They're a solid instead of outline.
Got it.
Sometimes I find it really hard when you're doing floors and you're slumping. You want to work out
It's definitely here's a weird optical illusion right now. So it feels like the depth isn't quite there.
I find it's really easy to judge if there's other Instaformer blocks, but when you're dealing with terrain and just cells, it gets guessy, I'll say.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I'm using it for, kind of flattening terrain and stuff and deleting, I'll usually place a block and then I can go to deletion and I know exactly where I'm starting my block at because I'm deleting that one block.
You guys plan to put a information button on stuff in your inventory so you could hit the button to see what that makes? You know what I mean? Like I'm highlighting right now light softwood. I have no idea what all it makes, but if it had an info button where I could click it down below, then it'd bring up everything that it makes.
It just has descriptions and stuff added to it. If you select it down below at the bottom, it'll tell you what that actual item is in a description, and we just need to make that a little bit more informative.
How do you
it
build
does
stuff right
a
now?
type of light wood, so it doesn't really say what it makes. So
Yeah, I don't think
type
that
of fruit.
because of the way the material system works and the amount of recipes that'll end up being in the game, I don't know that that's something that's going to happen, but
Well,
There's a
because there's so many
tab.
recipes, that use the same thing, you'd want maybe an info to know that, hey, don't use all this because you might want to save some because it makes this recipe too.
Sounds like they're
Or at
talking
least have a
about what
search
our
for recipes
tool
as well.
we'll be able to help.
Yeah,
Well, the big thing with that is a lot of like the refinery, you can actually look through what materials make what.
Yeah, that's what I'm in now is a refinery.
There's definitely some sorting and searching that we need to add to it, and that is intended to be changed in the future. The concern that I would have with what you're describing is you basically want to click on an object and it tells me all permutations that particular resource could be used in making something.
Or a hover over button or an info button that hover and then it just gives you a list of things.
Sure, but a list of 50 things
well,
trying to display on a screen isn't going to be useful to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is the amount of recipes that could potentially use that item is going to be high.
But if that list is only your unlocked things, like when you have a deck of cards sort of crafting system, eventually, it might be more useful.
I mean, it's a question of which direction you want to look at it. Either you're looking at the resource and it's telling you all the things that it can potentially be used in, or you look at the recipe that you're trying to craft and it lists out the resources that are available for you to use. It's a question of which direction you want to address the problem. And the biggest factor in that is the UI and the user experience behind it. And just finding that right balance behind it. I'm not saying that we're not willing to go either of the directions are certainly ways you can do it. It's used in many different games both ways. It's just finding the right feeling and making sure it's usable and friendly.
¿Por qué no los dos?
I personally enjoy the side of crafting when you don't know everything it can go into. It allows for discovery and allows for crafters to compete against each other by learning little intricacies.
There is definitely a belief there that we would like to have you discover things. You'll see some of that already coming into play of places like if you go and pick up a resource or pick up a floral thing, it starts showing up in your collection. You don't have the ability to see them all right at to start, not until you've actually figured them out.
I do like having that middle ground too. Like, one part I didn't like about Minecraft in its heyday was if you didn't know the exact combination of items in the little box, you couldn't make anything. And constantly having to have that little Bible up to know the shapes. I hated that. So having a crafting menu that doesn't force you to just kind of sit and experiment for hours to figure that out is great. But that, like, discovering recipes as you go is a very fun activity.
One little quality of life thing. Obviously, quality of life is down the road, but be able to filter out all the recipes that you don't have materials for.
That would actually be very useful.
Yeah, definitely having extra filters in the crafting trees and filtering out recipes. I'm sure that's going to be there.
Right. That's down the road.
But let's not forget all the third-party sites like Star Wars Galaxies. There was a huge SWG Craft that had all the recipes and all that kind of stuff to help you with that type of stuff. Game developers, if they put all that into the game, it takes away their time from, well, some of the other mechanics we might want.
Makes sense to me.
Like, I was just looking at the refinery. It is all these different things I can make. Well, I want to know what I can find that I have in my pack right now. That's where
remember refineries only just come in this last build.
Gotcha.
It's a change already from before. So the refineries will be refined.
I'll kind of pose a question to you there a little bit is what you've described there is you want to see a list of what you can currently refine.
Correct.
But the question I pose with that is that useful when, if I can sit there and refine to make aluminum, but I have no use for aluminum, why do I care if I can actually make it?
It just declutters my UI. Like I said, it's a quality of life thing. It's not
But then I guess the problem I would have, and I don't get me wrong, I completely think we need to have filtering and we need to have searching in there. Our UI is one of our worst aspects of our game right now, for several different reasons that I won't get into right now. But the issue that I would run into there a little bit is if you have a list, so that we'll say there's 500 items in that list, and you have the resources to craft 20 of those items, you're going to focus on those 20 items and not necessarily the end product that you want to complete. So you're going to have to search through that whole list anyways to try to find the actual product you want.
But as I start to refine some of these that I have, those products can turn into something else, and then more things appear. So that
What
gives
if
a
it
little
just like
discovery.
just prioritizes, like puts everything that you can craft at the top, and then like that you currently have the materials for? Because I'm at the refinery now, and I'm just clicking through everything, trying to.
Right.
Well, our refinery right now is awful. Part of the reason that it's awful is that the way we currently have it designed in the underside of things is if I define a new recipe and I tell you this is what it turns into, that's what it currently pulls up in there as an icon and a name, which is why you end up with like right now if I open up that one and there's AGAT and AGOT, there's two of them that look identical.
Or four carbons or five carbons,
which is absolutely terrible.
But that's because they can be made by combining other kinds of resources.
Correct. That's the reason that happens.
Yep. So I just want a checkbox that I could say, I have resources to make these things, and that's all I want to be. Yeah, that's
absolutely will be doing filter.
Yep.
It's just a question of
like I want to make tier 1 finishes.
Yeah, but the
Yeah, or
thing is-
tabs for your tiers would help as well.
But certain tiers, you're going to go and get that wrong. It should be easier.
That's also true.
Most tiers, you're going to go, like tier 1 stuff, you're going to find it like
That said, I do find myself making a lot of them just because I have so much of another material lying around. So using the refinery to turn one into another is going to happen a lot.
But the point of using a refinery is probably where you're into creating insta blocks or you're actually starting to build stuff. Prior to that, most of the stuff you get from tools get very
It depends. Like, I had so much shale just sitting in my inventory that I was literally able to craft all of my tier 1 metals. I didn't once go mining. At that point.
But how much time did you spend collecting the shell? A certain items you only need 20, 30 expand on that, get those tiers that you want, and then have those items crafted very quickly.
That's true.
You know what I have yet to figure out in my playtime is gaming plastic.
Oh, you got to make oil, and then once you've done that, you'll unlock the recipe.
To get oil, you've got two options: shell or wood. And to get the wood,
Okay.
it's the wood.
I
that's
definitely
laid
would
down
enjoy
on the 2 green planets.
some experience bars. This is on my screen.
About the filtering system is you currently have
230
all these resources in your inventory.
Right.
So the theory that you're describing of being able to see everything that I can currently craft gets a lot more difficult to deal with when you start putting stuff into storage capes and containers, and you're limited on what you can actually have on your inventory.
Yeah, and
So-
I only want to see what's in my inventory.
Which means you'll probably have a very small list there.
Okay.
Yes, because their inventory at the moment is overpowered again. It's going to be reduced by the time we get to even probably alpha or beta, and then you're going to probably want to have some crafting of or skill sets available to open up additional space. So at the moment it's like unlimited amounts or 9999 quantity. There's going to be way.
Is that someone else's cat, or is it my in-game cat that's meowing?
That would probably be Rod's.
Okay, because I heard that earlier, and I thought I needed to feed my tune. I was like, am I hungry?
You're gonna make like food in real life, like when you open your fridge. You're not gonna want.
Honestly, at this
What is
point,
all of the
Rod's
things
cats
that you
most
can
likely will become an NPC.
From stuff in my fridge.
One thing we haven't talked about is weight.
Weight.
So some of these items will have weight values working out the whole and everything. So
right.
So you're not going to. There's that side of it as well.
Well, how realistic are you trying to get?
Well, we want things to. Well, I think the game will do. We want things to reduce damage and be realistic to a certain point. Because because you're not going to be able to transform some of this stuff. You might have to hire a service for someone that is skilled up on transportation that has the availability to take certain weights or a large, inventory to be able to move point A to point B for you at a cost. Because then we're utilizing the community rather than trying to do everything ourselves.
Sure.
Hey, where am I looking for anti-grav material?
I don't know for sure. I feel like that would be in space.
So around most of the portals now, I think we put the what they called the dark wizard plants. If you harvest those, they might give you anti-grav.
That's where I got all mine.
And then if you're on Primesis, there are a couple of places where you can actually prospect for anti-grav.
I believe there was somebody that was putting a bunch of dark wizards down on planet side too.
Yeah, it's like go.
She put them. I think she put them on every planet outside of the main portal.
So I'm looking for
like there's
plants.
two right here. The purple ones.
So you're looking for the dark wizard plant. And
I'm looking for plants called dark wizard, and I'm going to use the
Hey,
harvester on
mushroom.
Glowing, huge purple mushroom.
Right on. And then what was the other method? You said prospecting, but I'm not.
Or refinery, actually, too.
Oh, you can refine it as well. Yeah. So if you've got a saying, and you go to the Primesis, you can look for.
Sorry,
that-
you're saying too many things for me. I go to Prometheus.
Yep. So that's
A
one
planet,
of the planets.
Pyromisis. Yeah.
Pyromisis, sorry.
So I'm going to be able to figure out how to go to another planet before I find anti-gravity material.
Yes, there are portals right now.
Oh, okay. I hadn't come across that.
By the spawn point. You can go there with /camp.
Good to know. Thank you.
I see like a cool white building in a screenshot on the Kickstarter. Can we build those yet, or are we just building like cubes? Okay.
You can build those with the fabricator tool, which is under the civil engineering skill tree, which again is unlocked once you get the Instaformer unlocked, I believe, in under mining, mineralogy.
Yep. The Instaformer stuff doesn't look super pretty, and you have to unlock. Like right now, all I can use in the Instaformer is bricks of glass, but you can use that to farm XP.
Yeah, then you open up the fabricator, and it's the fabricator that you can then place the doors, windows, roof, elements, stairs.
Is there a way to get the Instaformer to give me access to like metals and things that aren't glass?
Yes, under civil engineering, the skill tree, you can choose metal blocks and manufactured blocks.
Okay.
And also already you should have unlocked several types of stone block, but if you're on Rodine 4, you most likely have been mining through slate, which is not one of those.
Yep. Oh, so I wasn't on placement mode, I was on teardown. That's why nothing. Okay. Yeah, because I'm literally just sitting and spamming glass just to get XP and then tearing it down again, over and over again.
The initial getting civil engineering and getting the experience for building is pretty awful right now.
It's perfectly fine though. It gives me a chance to just play with the tools and see how everything interacts.
One of the things that I'd like to change, just in the short term, to make that a little bit better experience, is make it so that each unique object that you place in the room gives you a bonus experience. So it would promote the idea of place 10 individual blocks and get 10 experience, or I could go find 2 different ones, craft 2 different ones, and place each of them and get like 25 experience each, to speed up that process and push the idea of go discover other blocks that you can place.
I do like the floaty, like it has that Minecraft feel of being able to place a floating block and then put your foundation under it.
Can I cause all player names to be visible or my name to be visible?
No.
Not right now.
Thank you.
If you mouse cursor over a general area there, you can kind of get a few of them to pop open and see.
Right.
Or currently only if they're targeted do they show.
Right on. Thank you for telling me about the portals. I had misinterpreted that thing to just be the spawn point, and now I'm in space and cannonballing.
Nice.
I'm going to pose a question to you. Did you read the tutorial that popped up?
Yeah, when I first logged in for my first play test the other day, I did, but I must have missed a lot of details.
It happens.
Yeah.
Well, there's a
I'm
sort of
just curious.
tension between like for me, there's a tension between wanting to just try stuff and not wanting to miss the details that somebody bothered to put in the tutorial.
Almost up to the
So I
400
wind
mark.
up doing a little of both.
Our intention is to basically have an FTE experience where you go in and you kind of walk through a few steps that you need to get basic understanding of the game, and then put you into the actual game and throw you into the deep end at that point. Right now, we throw you into the deep end, throw you a life vest that you have a choice to to take on or not, and it's not great.
The tutorial at least gives you enough to understand your base tools and then go from there.
Is there different information right now between what the tutorial will tell me and what the help file will tell me?
Yes. Okay. The help file has a ton more information.
Basically, the tutorial just tells you, hey, here's a help file.
You know
You're on
what?
your own.
I meant that as sort of unidirectional. Is there information in the tutorial that's not in the help file?
Oh,
No, I don't think so.
I would say no. Probably all in the F1 screens probably cover everything that's in the tutorial, but the tutorial's written in more of a style of do this, then this, then this, where the help one is just here's a book.
Right.
The tutorial's very much a, hey, here's some first steps for a brand new player that doesn't know what they're doing, whereas the help book is more to guide someone that has that foundation and wants to go through.
All right.
How do I get to plastic again? I got oil.
Okay,
so,
go ahead. Have you received the plastic recipe?
No.
You need to close the inventory and reopen it. Or the crafting table.
There might be an upgrade you have to buy to unlock the recipe. I'm not sure.
How do I survey stuff? Like I went to these red diamonds, but there's nothing.
I have it now.
You should get plastic after creating your
I have it now.
oil item.
You gotta click on them.
I went out of the tool and went back in, and I have it.
You have it now. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, the red diamonds you have to click with your mouse while you have the tool out.
And then when you click on it, it'll turn green and give you the XP.
Don't worry, you're not the first one.
Okay.
Won't be the last either.
Well, Rav's already talked about possibly changing that aspect because it is a bit not obvious that you've got to click.
On that Ranger XP, is that the only way to get the Ranger XP is through that, the little diamonds, or are there other ways to get Ranger experience?
You can place a camp down, and if people use your camp, you'll get XP that way as well.
Does that count for homesteads as well if you have a homestead with refineries and stuff in it?
I don't believe so.
No, I don't think so. So what
Feature request.
Is if you're clever, if you put your camp just near one of those Pathfinder survey points, people will always be running through.
Yeah, the big thing for me was when I was trying to build up to a homestead, I had camps out right near my mining area. It's good to know that it needs to be camps to help people out, but one thing I did notice is that there doesn't seem to be a way to make a real life station. So having a camp nearby might be helpful to give people a respawn point.
Doesn't the homestead have a reload station?
It does
I
not.
haven't I do not see one. There is where the Rangers are going to start coming in handy, because that's where the real life is.
I need to run. Thank you for hosting this. Thank you for answering questions, Rod, and any other devs in here. Very cool.
It's only Rod. Rod's the only dev here.
Okay.
The rest of us have just been playing since early pre-alpha and kind of know the game.
I love the fact that you're even in here to talk to us. That's very awesome.
Oh yeah, I've had some great conversation with the devs here. They're a great team.
I look forward to the future and future playtests.
Yeah, if you're around tomorrow, tomorrow's the big one.
Have a good day.
Was that a heavy sigh?
Oh no, the curse of adulting. I know that sigh.
A huge family reunion.
We
Eh,
get
who
to
needs
pretend that we don't have a kid tomorrow. He's going to go on a Beaver Scout camp thing.
Ooh, amazing.
He's very excited. He's going to have so much fun, right, dude? Yeah, he's nodding.
Yeah, it's scouting. Scouting is fun.
I was wondering how you customize your character, but I realized it's something else.
Character customization is a future thing.
What? I didn't realize.
But whenever you portal to different planets,
Hive is just hovering. He's adorable.
Yeah, there's two of them. The other one ran off though.
Beanstalk, you paying attention to things?
Is this your pet? Or is it my pet?
I'm not even paying attention to time. I don't know what time we're still.
Oh.
Oh, we've got an hour left still.
Game's
Okay.
crashed. Desert. I don't know if anybody else is crashing. Or is this just me?
I'm not.
Desert. A jungle. Sorry. Words.
Oh, Guyamar? Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm good
for
on
now.
jungle.
Alright.
Damage
Why does
number.
just me?
Oh, there's ball hives down there, and trees are on fire, and people are dying. Well, I'm staying right where I'm at.
I just dancing all day.
Don't worry about it.
That's a them problem. I'm just over
sure
here
is.
trying to build a mining colony. Like that's
Right
basically all I'm doing is tomorrow I'm probably gonna be Gunk's like main mining foreman.
Spinning blue circle of doom.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm attempting to build a diner at the edge of the galaxy.
Will the server
not
be
really.
wiped between today and tomorrow, or will we still have everything?
Yes.
They will be wiped.
Ah, bummer.
Is there gonna be any of the there's been talks that like the terraformer and stuff is gonna be scaled down. Are we gonna start working that in soon, or is that gonna be further down?
Maybe yes. No, I don't know.
I know it's probably a little too early to start fine tuning on that scale, but you know the stress tests are where we're gonna start seeing the extent of the damage. Actually, I think that's the whole point of these longer tests is to see how much damage we're doing with these suckers.
Hey, I heard there will be spaceships. Will it be kind of like, will the process of going to space be kind of like, will there be like loading screens and you just pop into space, or is it more like No Man's Sky and seamless?
It won't be seamless going from planet to space.
All right.
There will be some kind of transfer system that goes between them.
What was
If
that
anything-
Bethesda game that got railed on for loading screens?
Oh, Starfield.
Starfield, yeah, I played it. Oh, that was fun. There was a lot of loading screens.
I liked that game.
I'm very much. I do not like Bethesda games mostly because they're very hollow and heartless.
Beanstalk, that ball hive just flew to you. I think it loves you.
I feel like every space game has let me down in some way over time. Like it started with Star Trek Online, and then Star Citizen took forever, and then
Star
Starfield.
Citizen.
It's
Star
still out.
Citizen's a whole different issue. That's an argument you don't want to get started.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know friends that kickstarted that like 5-8 years ago, back when No Man's Sky was still brand new. and it has still not come to full release yet. God, that's a mess.
I don't recommend discussing it, but I back 2012.
Why didn't my camp kit? Looks like a Pathfinder in my inventory. I couldn't find it. Now I found it.
My tree's on fire. Does anyone know where
My tree.
the source of gemstone is?
So with that, yes, if you hit F1, you'll find a handy little chrono phasing tree. I do believe that there is some way you can turn like sandstone or something in that desert planet into quartzite and then quartz using the lava beam on the chrono phaser.
Indeed. That is the best way.
Needed. Okay, yeah. Sandstone becomes quartzite. Well, yeah, there is a lot of sand.
There's a
to
couple
turn
of
into
things actually
sandstone.
that can get burned into quartzite.
So I know earlier people were talking about like item categories and descriptions and things like that, right? What if each item description just had a category that it was assigned to? So like maybe I go onto a planet, I don't know anything about it, but I scan something and I harvest it and it goes, hey, this is a fuel. Doesn't tell me what recipe, just this is a fuel. You can use it as a fuel somewhere.
I think things will have potentially multiple tags though.
Yeah, okay.
I think I ran into the edge of the map or something. Will there be edges on the map?
Yeah.
Like
It's a flat Earth, bro.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, is there procedural generation going on to just keep the planet going, or no? So just
We
the
have
map.
sections of the planets that we're allowed to go on to
Got it.
by the servitors. Servitors?
Will we 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer? Hopefully by launch 4 kilometer by 4 kilometers.
That's a nice little staircase you got going there, Rod.
That's what I was going to ask you about. I'm looking for, I don't know, it's the best I've come up with so far. I'm trying to think of other ways to do it. It seems to function right now, but it looks a little wacky.
I guess it's a little tricky to think about. I guess when you're turning, that's the corners are like the hard part. I think
The hard part
having
is trying to find the right levels for it.
Oh.
So that I can actually walk up it, because I don't want to jump.
Well, it looks like that's the right. Well, I guess you could try playing with the spacing in between each one, but it looks like it works right now. But you
I
have
can't
to.
go any closer than this. This is the one. This is the half meter.
I think the first test I have ever been able to actually get all of the building tools put together. Huzzah!
Yes, pizza.
Did you rig it somehow by rotating it like 22.5 degrees or whatever and then moving it?
What do you mean? What are you trying to describe?
Sorry, you said the distance was half a meter currently, but usually you can, like, if you rotate it, the distances don't quite match up because, you know, square roots and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be kind of a complicated way to try to do it, but you probably could offset things a little bit by doing that.
So you want the staircase to end on that face of the foundation, if I'm correct, or you want it
not
to lead up
necessarily.
to the top on that side.
I mean, I haven't figured out where I'm going to make the second floor yet, but potentially.
I see.
And what I was trying to do is actually try to make a modular section. So you can see I've got a square under here. This one right here lines up one block off. This one's rotated
22 degrees or 22.5 off of 1 over or a half over pivot point. This one's rotated probably too far, but I was trying to make it more of a rounded one. And then this is then the flat again, which allows me to repeat the same structure that I
Right.
did here for each section of the corners. And I think it'll work, but
Wait. And now we start getting into walls and pretty looking. Okay. Here we Oh. And now I start getting into reasons why I might want that.
How do you pick up crafting stations?
Like once they've been placed?
Yeah.
A fabricator, I guess. Watch.
Well,
with the
I'm
next
fine with
update, you'll actually place them with a fabricator also.
Oh, okay. Is it
The
just
right
the
click in the inventory is a little weird.
Is it? Yeah, I stacked a fabricator and a refinery on top of each, or a toolmaker and a refinery on top of each other.
Yeah. Do you have a fabricator?
Yes, I just.
And you're
got it.
inside your homestead?
Yes.
You should be able to target them and move them.
Yeah, I'm having issues with going up.
Are you using the widget or are you using the keyboard commands?
Using the widget.
Try different angles and where you're grabbing it. Otherwise, if you want to me, the easier way to do it at times is the toolbar that you have down at the middle of your screen. You're going to see a button for move, rotate, X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
If you select the Y, select move for it, and then use E or Q, it'll move things forward and backwards on that axis.
Okay.
You can do the same thing
Yeah.
with rotation, is just pick, and the colors mostly match. So when you're looking at the widget itself, you'll see there's 3 different colors. Those match the X, Y, Z axes that are there.
Yeah, yeah, it's
and
much nicer.
If you want other quick keyboard commands, you can use tab, and it'll switch between the move and rotate. Shift tab is also supposed to switch between X, Y, Z, but that is currently busted. There's also Control D for duplicate. There's Control Z and Control, well, I don't think Control Y works, but Control Z to undo.
On the tutorial page for space, I see a cool house. Will we be able to build in space?
You certainly can. Pretty much every screenshot you see that has some kind of buildings in it actually works using our in-game controls abilities.
Yes, all you need to do is plunk down. Yeah. Plunk down a homestead and you can do it right now.
Can you teleport to your camp?
Like in space then? You can put down a camp in space or something?
You can. You do need to have a surface for it to attach to initially. So you'll have to start either by building off of an asteroid. Actually, the camp, there is kind of a bug right now that you can kind of drop the camp out in the middle of space if you want to. But if you try to build there, it's going to be a little bit weird. And you'll have to work around it a little.
Will there be like a big space station we can build like a space neighborhood on?
Likely.
Yeah, you can.
Knowing this community, somebody's already working out how to do it.
The annoying part is getting materials out there.
I'm kind of at the point where my buildings aren't looking super pretty because you kind of gotta play around with blocks to get access to more materials later.
Rod, are we going to get rounded blocks so we can like make columns of glass and stuff like that? Because they're quite squarish at the moment, aren't they? On the Instaformer.
The intention is yes. We haven't experimented with it yet, but the Instaformer basically fills in a cell that we currently have, which is a cube. So that's the easy solution. The next one is to basically allow the terrain engine to mesh those in different shapes. So probably the first ones we'll see from that when we actually get a chance to do it is you'll probably see a half block, a stair block that'll be like a couple stairs, or a ramp block.
Hmm.
And then from there we'll start getting into more complex shapes. But it all depends upon how we render those. They still technically are one block, and we're just showing parts of the cell.
We can.
People digging holes and causing all of the survey points to drop down underground. I dislike you severely.
I agree.
So, using the fabricator to move things, I see the 3 arrows for the axes. How do you manipulate that?
Unity or drag it with your mouse. So you could either drag the widget in the directions you want, or use the X, Y, Z and then use the Unity.
Got it.
Line.
Hey, Whisper,
Yes.
are you watching my stream at all?
No, should I?
No, something I just happened to notice. This complete coincidence, by the way. I didn't even realize it.
Underground at the same time.
I'm building my little place that I'm building at. I happen to actually accidentally equip this.
Oh. But this is seriously, people, like, there's been a good 6 or 7 that I've gone to. It had to have been intentional, where people are actually intentionally putting holes underneath them and dropping them so you can't actually see them across when you gaze across, you can't see them. You can't hear them when you run over them. And if you have the survey map, then you can kind of narrow it down, but still.
I would love to see those points have like a red shaft of light.
They buried them as they went to try
They
to.
do have an audio cue when you get close to them, so you can hear them.
If they do get buried now, they should pop out.
These aren't buried. They're just digging holes. They're dropping down.
That was someone else.
There was someone trying to say something, but your voice was very low, so if you could repeat, please. No? Alright. No worries.
A couple of comments that I heard there. One, we're definitely talking. We're finding different ways we can manipulate the survey points so that we kind of prevent some of the issues that have there. But that is going to happen. We have to have them move because otherwise they end up getting buried and they get even harder to find. Somebody else had mentioned possibly having a god beam from them. The thought there is this is designed to be a game that leads into the cartography skill. And while we want them to be accessible and available to get them, there should be some expected challenge behind finding them. So we're currently actually looking at making them less visible than you already have them right now. Right now you can see them from 4 miles away, and you're not going to be that way. We're going to shorten that.
Like make it a
we want you
ranger
to explore
skill
the
to be
world.
able to spot them more.
Potentially, yes. That is things that we can throw in there, but we'd like to pull it back down and make it more difficult again, and then start looking at if there is a need to make them more accessible, let's put those under a skill lock system.
Makes sense to me. Oh, that's what's attacking me. There's a prowler in my house. Okay.
I've been there.
I smell fire.
Bloody cats.
Is
Just
it
let me
the
build my home in peace.
fire you smell or the smoke?
No. I'm at the portal dancing, and I can hear the fire crackling right next to me. So someone's set light to the trees.
You're fine.
They are my favourites.
Don't mind me climbing a mountain to escape a jungle cat, because as far as I know, they can't climb yet.
Hooray! Nice work, Whispering.
What, pulling all the mobs for you? I'm on it.
I was thinking of the survey points, but yes.
And tagging on to what I
Does
heard,
it say
like
when someone's seen them, cut them all?
tagging on to something I heard like 15 or 20 minutes ago, about the appearance of the game and that it might look like a kid's game. And going along with what Dave said at the Fireside Chat, that you value our opinions more than you do us finding bugs. I think it would help the game when you're designing the characters, outfits, etc. You could follow three things. Or one, I know a lot of people like to either A, make their characters look badass, B, they like to make their characters look sexy, or C, they like to make their characters look cute. And I think if you could do something along those ways, to take off the current very friendly, and I hate to say it, child-looking game, it might help.
I mean, there's certainly a different look that you're going to have from choosing your species. Certainly like the cats are going to be a little bit more cuddly than the gurkhas, for example, which are more, demon-like. So you're going to get a little bit of aspect there, and changing colors and shapes are definitely going to be a factor in there. Being able to, like the gurkha, for example, has the horn. The male, one of the males have the single horn and stuff. You're going to be able to choose between single horn, two horns, broken horn, different various feelings like that. Ideally, what we're actually going to have is we're actually going to have sliders for those kind of things too. So it's not going to be you pick between these three variations. You have several different permutations you can do in between them by using sliders, and you can then change, your shape, your form. You want to be a little bit chunkier, you want to be thinner. You can do those things through the sliders that we have. That's the reason we've partnered with Dynamo to do this.
What's Dynamo?
Dynamo is another company that does character models for a lot of single player. Well, it's a lot, but several different single player games. You can look them up. Feel free. They've got some good examples on there showing some of their customizations that they've produced in other games, and they're really dynamic. Similar to like Star Wars Galaxies. If any played Star Wars Galaxies, you could make some really fugly looking characters in Star Wars Galaxies. We actually, before we had launched it, the sliders were very extreme, and you could make some really fugly looking characters. And we tuned those down, and we're going to have the same kind of system in place by launch is what we aim for. The problem that we run into a little bit is while Dynamo provides us a step into that quicker, none of their stuff is MMO based. So it's a technology challenge for them to make it function and work with what we're doing here. We also add an extra layer of difficulty for it. Is not only is the Dynamo system used to modify the general mesh and look of the items, we also have what we call our super shader on top of that, which all of the meshes then can have additional mats on them, allowing you to have like decals or change the colors, the looks. So there's different textures to it. So you can take the same jacket of, like you say, the human jacket has like that kind of code-looking circuitry look on it.
Yeah.
You could have thousands of different variations of that using our super shader.
So basically changing the mat cabin in a way.
And you're saying the super shader is not something Dynamo offers that they're struggling, or at least
that is completely different technology for them. That's something that we have, and we're enforcing that into our character. All of our objects have that on it. That's how you see things. Well, actually, you guys don't see it yet. When our seasons actually get implemented in the game, that's where you're going to see things of where it gets cold out, the trees start to lose leaves. They start to get more of a dead look to them as they get into fall. If they're using the same models that are there, we're just changing the textures that are actually being displayed on the client based off of those. Nice. And every one of our objects in the game have this attached to it. It is expensive for us to do this from a performance standpoint.
Right.
But it's something that we we truly believe that we want to have in there and have the ability to do it, because it does allow us to customize things once it functions and works and we make it performant. From an art perspective, it reduces our art down dramatically.
In
the
what
amount. We don't have to create as many different assets, and the number of assets you need to receive is significantly less. All we're doing is using the same asset and changing the appearance on it.
Right. So you're adjusting parameters on an existing asset, not paying for art on a new asset.
Absolutely.
Are players going to be able to do that, to adjust textures or colors or anything?
In limited ways, yes. That is certainly going to tie into potentially our microtransaction system, where we have the ability to, either we have the ability or players have the ability to create various different customized versions of them and potentially sell them on the market.
Oh, right on.
In our case, we would sell them microtransaction potentially for very customized special ones. The players may have the ability to make their own simplified versions of those and sell those for in-game.
Kind of like a Second Life style development side for the players.
Will there be any like hubs or towns that are like not player created? You know, that's on place or something.
There will be very few things that we are providing as the hub locations. There will be for the, and some of this is just I guess this is based off of some of our designs in the future. But for the most part, we want players building structures for it. There will be some exceptions to that of kind of prefab structures that you potentially place, provide resources and stuff, and put in there that we may create. But we also want to have a template system put in place where an architect going through skill lines and stuff, you're going to get skills to be able to do these. You can then save out something that you've created, create a blueprint for it, and put that onto the market. Allow people to actually just buy a prefab building that's created by somebody.
That is awesome. It reminds me of something I did in Galaxies, because you remember you could make you could buy blueprints from somebody. You didn't have to make them yourself. And so I was trying to buy blueprints for some sort of healing potion or something. And
Everybody watching,
when
listening
people
to
realized that
the
I wanted the blueprint for
Stars
thousands
Reach,
of them, they would get angry. Like, you
play
shouldn't be able to
testing
mass
voice
produce
chat
these things
channel,
you didn't craft yourself.
and you're watching
Which is what I
me
was trying to do.
actually play during that play test. And yes,
I mean,
what I've been doing has been
So
kind
I'm
of
dancing
boring,
on the stream,
but
and like
the whole purpose
I
of
have
what I've been doing
completely
is
different
to
weather
truly
on my
flush
screen.
out
Like,
the
I'm
skill tree
daytime
for
this whole time, but
the
you have a
mineral
day and night
aspect,
cycle, and I don't.
just so I could better
Yeah,
understand
currently right
it
now
for
what happens
future
is
play testing.
when you log in, it sets you to noon.
So that's
and
been
then
my
you will have
goal,
the same,
which is kind of
you'll
boring,
have the same
but
cycle for
filling
yourself.
this out here.
But the next person that logs in 2 minutes later starts out at noon, and you're at 2. So each client has a different view of the day-night right
Combat,
now. We're synchronizing
nothing
that
to
when we
train
add in
here, I
our
don't think.
season system.
Got it. Cool.
Going back to character customization and Star Wars Galaxies, is there going to be any kind of image designer adjacent class in the future?
There is certainly a possibility.
Okay, thank you.
This honestly, there's so much potential with this. It's so much fun.
You'll certainly find that a lot of my answers I give you, this is a possibility, because the technology is going to allow it. The question is time and money. You know, it's a time frame of when we want to launch, you know, at different phases that we actually hit for, how much we can get done in that period of time, and the resources it takes to make that happen.
Will it be less
Yeah,
than
that
10
totally
years?
makes sense.
But it gives so much potential for adding on to the game later.
Absolutely.
So make sure we tell all of our friends to support the Kickstarter.
Yes, that is the moral of the story.
Yes, and to follow on to that, I'm really excited for what you told me about the characters. And it may not be possible because they're not far enough along. Is there any way to maybe show some examples of those characters so on the Kickstarter so people can see, you know, that it's not sort of happy, sunny all the time, you know, characters?
Maybe. I mean, it's just I'm trying to think of the way to describe it. Like, we have the ability to create several different character looks and stuff like that. Then we have to export them out, and then like we could have non-finished versions of them and show those. But I don't know if that's the look we'd like to have put out there right now. Yeah, my answer is no right now.
Okay.
Another one, Rod. At the moment, we've got 4 types of character. There are more, aren't there?
There are more that we are planning on making.
Yes, there are more species.
Yeah, if you could look back at some of the documentation and stuff that we've put out in things, there's a couple other ones that have actually shown some of the concepts and stuff like that for them. But there is at least 2 more that we're aiming for launch, and we have a few other ones that we have basic designs for. But everything is time and effort.
Well, hopefully, where the clothing and all of that is one element. Adding a new species would just be the rigging and that side of it. So it should blend in quite nicely as time goes on.
Yes, and one of the things we're doing with our design, you'll notice our characters are very similar in basic structure and size. That's by design. We are doing that so that we can add in additional ones that have different looks to them, but the animations behind them are all drawn off the same thing. So that allows us to speed things up and do things a little bit easier, going off of like
So what I'm
traditional
doing
old,
right now is I'm
older
going
games
through
like
and I'm looking
EQ,
at
for
this
example.
red dot.
If you have a dwarf,
I'm trying to
and
see
you
what I
have
can
an ogre,
create with the resources
they
I
had
did collect,
completely
which
different
wasn't much. I just got a
meshes for
ton
them,
of a
completely
couple
different
things.
animations for them. So every time we added
the
a
dot
new
should turn
race
green
in,
if I can craft.
you need to
that
create
particular
not
thing.
only the base look and feel of that creature or character.
Yellow means I have
you're
some,
creating
but not
animations
enough.
for every single different
I
animation
only
that the
have
previous
5 of the
characters had to do.
15 I need.
And every time we add in like a new weapon and things like that, that's multiplied by all the creatures or characters. So adding in species, if you're not doing that kind of scenario, is a very expensive thing to do. When I say expense, I'm not saying like dollar value, but it kind of correlates into that. It's more of your time and effort that takes to do it.
Yeah. But and then these are the things that all you guys have learned over the years, which is making this game so much, the rapid development of it, because you've learned all of those tricks over the years of what's worked and what's not worked.
I mean, certainly a lot of it has required experimentation. I mean, as we've certainly stated before, the company has been we've been in development for about 5 years. The reality behind that, I would say the first 3 years that we've been in development is all R&D for the most part. It wasn't until recently, when I say recently, in the last year and a half and stuff, that we've really been able to push systems into the game and start really actually building a game. Prior to that was building the CA Sim, building our infrastructure for how we're going to handle the servers and doing the technology research behind it. That's part of the reason that like we'll see, you know, we've posted various different things that we've technically we've spent over 20-some million, almost 30 million over the last 5 years, because we've done a lot of research and development and figuring out the technology behind it. But now that we've actually done that, the amount that we need to do to produce the actual game is significantly faster now, because now it's just there's still systems we need to develop and put in, and technology we still need to develop.
Red soil,
but for the most part, a lot of that basic foundation is there, and it's data entry and you know, using that data in creative ways.
Heated it become quartzite.
Certainly, there's another aspect of that, of course, is art.
Ore.
Art is one of those things that is in
how
every
do
single
we
game. It's always a
refine
roadblock,
and or obviously
because it is
heating.
one of the things that takes the longest to develop.
Because I thought I was on
Core
a refiner.
there,
This
it's
is a
now just
refinery.
polishing and adding and, you know, taking out the, like you said, like the chat, tweaking that and making that better.
There's also the old adage of, you know, for every new feature you add, there's about 50 bugs that come with it.
Erodes the silica.
Every time.
Heated becomes that.
Yeah, it's
refines.
And you also
to
run into the factor of like,
ore. Okay, I want
like you see the
silica
terrain
ore.
engine right now. You guys have, you know, you use the tools and stuff, you play with it, and you can see the basic potential of what can be done there. Now that we've got the foundation there, we don't have to add a lot of new systems. It's now just how we can manipulate that and do it in different ways and make it fun. And that part comes pretty quickly.
Why don't I see? Okay, silica ore.
I really can't wait because there's just so much that can be done. Like,
okay, that's
even right
misleading
now,
because it
there's
was
a lot that
yellow.
can be done. Well, I guess it's
Well, I
it's for
have enough
people
to
that like
craft.
want to make a lot of things. You have the tools to do that. and especially like it's like Minecraft but multiplayer, and personally I prefer Minecraft when I'm playing with friends because
Okay, so I made
you
some
can
with
show them what
chert,
you're building.
and
You
then I
have
made
like a lot
some
of
with sand.
you can do anything,
In my inventory,
Part of what really I
silica
love so
ore,
far is
I get the same type.
like just from the artwork we have so far. I love that this kind of reminds me so much of like WildStar back in the day. I always loved the artwork of that game, and there's a lot of similarity here.
That's also what attracted me to the game is the similarity to WildStar's style.
Yeah, like it's got some character to it, but it's not overly cutesy.
No, it just needs the sound effects. That would be
Well,
the best part.
I mean, WildStar looked like Ratchet and Clank.
WildStar was so far ahead of its time, and I miss it so much.
People saying it's back in the day makes me feel old.
Yeah.
WildStar, I
Tell me about
believe,
it.
came out like when I was in my junior or senior
2012.
year. Yeah, okay. I was in college.
Sand.
Yeah, my favorite MMO, which is City of
It
Heroes,
won't let me do
got shut
anything.
down shortly before WildStar.
Chert.
City of
City
Heroes.
of Heroes was really good.
Yeah, I've been playing Homecoming now for 6 years since they released the source code.
Yeah, really
It's
happy for those
still a great
devs in
game.
Homecoming.
Oh my gosh,
where's-
WildStar was only like 11 years ago. That's not long ago at all.
Yeah, I think of that as a
For me, it
recent
is.
one got canceled.
Yeah, I remember playing Seeds of Heroes when it came out, like a long time ago.
Yeah, 2004.
Yeah, they did.
Homecoming. I am so happy that they got the okay to like do
Why
the
can't I
historical
craft that? What am
preservation
I
thing
missing?
with that.
I mean, it's not really a historical preservation.
See,
though,
now
because
it's
they,
green.
Like constantly update it. It's more
Right.
like they have the license to operate the server side source code.
Now it's
so it won't get
green,
a DMCA
but I can't
takedown.
craft it again.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Something's
y'all have
getting
salsa
bugged.
dancing. That's crazy.
From what I hear, it started out as historical preservation, but then they got ANET on board, or NCSoft.
Okay, so
whichever
what we're
one.
seeing here is
I know ANET used to work with
oh,
No,
I
NCSoft
broke
when
it.
Guild Wars 1 was a thing.
So it was originally a group called Score.
These
that
tips
ran a
down
private
here are
server
important.
That had a pirated, well, somehow came into their possession copy of the source code from the server. They just wanted to keep playing the game.
Okay, so let's just
A dev somewhere along the lines leaked it or gave it to one of them, or was one of them. Still not 100% sure on that. And they just kept playing. And then in 2019, it kind of got out that it was there, and through various drama, they released it to the internet as a whole to make their own private servers.
It's a beautiful
why aren't
project.
these things together?
NCSoft are known for.
Oh,
not
they
letting
have
stuff
weird
out, aren't
stacking
they?
sizes,
Pretty-
guys.
They are also very litigious.
They bury when they bury something, they bury it.
Oh, yeah.
From 2019, when the group that is now Homecoming started hosting their private server, they did not change a thing. They said, we're not going to do anything different to it. And they negotiated with NCSoft for 4.5 years. And then eventually got a license that said, yes, and you can improve upon it.
So another stat we need to track will
That-
be
that
something
was
along
cryptic.
stack size.
Yeah, Cryptic and Paragon were both owned by NCSoft at some point. Or at
Yeah,
least
so
they,
what-
they were the ones
Because
publishing.
Cryptic made the original City of Heroes.
Yeah, they made it under NCSoft. Yeah.
If I remember
NCSoft
correctly,
was
the
the producing company for them. That's what it was.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the original Guild Wars 1 and 2 was an NCSoft product before ANET took it.
And it was under NCSoft at that time, and then they became independent.
Which was the best and worst thing to happen.
Best because, hey, Guild Wars 2 is amazing. Worst because, well, look what NCSoft's done to its sets.
All right.
So how much of like a narrative or story or quest line will there be? Like, or is it just all sandbox?
My brain is getting burned out.
It's actually a good question.
There is going to be certainly lore and background that will appear throughout the game, but the The
Okay, so
storyline that
this
you're actually
here
going to follow
is
is mainly sandbox and player driven. We are going to have
the lay.
player driven mission systems in place that allow players to create their own quests, we'll call them.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
if
going
I
to be
need
kind of.
if I need a bunch of bricks, I can post on a job board to have someone bring me the mats.
Yep.
Is there going to be some kind of like in City of Heroes you could do like certain like instanced set pieces where players could make their own missions for people to play through, or
That kind of pulls you from the reality of what the game is supposed to be. Like you're
That's
supposed
fair.
to live in the world itself. Instancing is not something that we're going to embrace.
Okay, cool.
We want to keep
So
a social environment.
You very much just want to play the open living world and let the players the story. I like that.
it. Yep.
Who's working on the lore?
A lot of it's basically developed. I mean, it's over time. A lot of it was Raft developed a lot of the original stuff, and we've had a couple different designers in place that have written lore since then. Several of them are no longer with us.
Okay.
We just have archives of lore right now to kind of fall back on.
Right.
And then work from that and make new.
Sounds like
I hope no longer with us means that they've moved on to other projects, not died.
We kind of kill them off, you know.
They knew too much.
They knew too much.
Now and again, you might see a planet, and you might see a little tombstone or something, and it might have their
A
name.
little plaque.
Little
In memory of.
Yeah.
Somebody's just digging and they just happen to find a skeleton there, and somebody just pops up. You will forget what you've seen here.
That's what the Wayfinder nodes are. The corpses of devs who knew too much.
You will forget what you've seen here.
How many weapons will there be? Like, I only see one right now, the Omni Blaster, right?
There's the drones as well, and the gravity gun.
And the grav gun.
Oh yeah, grav gun.
I'm just wondering
I
how
haven't even
deep
played with the grav gun yet.
The question isn't necessarily how many weapons there are, it's how many different types of attacks there will be. If you think of it in that term, it's a little bit easier to understand where it goes. If you think of the Omni Blaster is an electric projectile with homing. The grav gun is a beam weapon with knockback. The drones is a fire weapon or fire projectile with a heat attack. We have various different element attacks that you can then attach to a different one. You can then make a determination whether it's a beam or it's a projectile, or like the flamethrower would be another example. We're going to basically allow you, well, we're going to create various different types of weapons based off of those different types of components that get added to it. And then the goal is to actually, through the crafting system, give that to the players in a way that instead of crafting an Omni Blaster, I create a basic look for it using the mold or shape of what it's going to be, and I apply into it a heat component to it and a homing component to it, allowing you to customize that weapon and make it its own type of weapon. That's the goal that we're trying to get to. So it is completely customizable.
Cool.
The examples that you're seeing here are purely that, examples of what they will be. And under the hood, that's how we're creating things, is we basically go choose an appearance of what we want it to look like. We choose what type of firing mechanism it uses, whether it's projectile, it's a beam, and then what type of enhancements gets added onto those projectiles. And then you'll be able to customize those through two different methods, whether you customize the component that you're using to create the weapon, maybe giving it a further range than a different component that you put into it, or a shorter range or more power to it. You're going to have to make decisions on which ones you want to actually apply to it to create that weapon. Overall, it is going to be a fairly complicated system if it actually sees the light of day the way we would like it to be. But it will allow a lot of customization to the players. It'll allow the extra element to throw onto that is not only can you then customize the weapon by what it does, the quality of the weapon is going to make a difference. So if I am a crafter that has positioned my skills in a way to make it so that I'm really good at crafting muzzles for weapons in particular, there might be somebody that handles the putting it all together. So I've created some really good muzzles. I hand it to my friend who has the ability to make the weapons themselves and enhance on them. I'm going to make the best quality one I can make. He's going to use that piece and put it into his, making a unique weapon that has my parts and his parts together and is tagged that it was created by these people. So that you can then develop a reputation of being a good weaponsmith if you want to be. Kind of having
What do you mean
your
by
trademark on it.
tags as being peaceful?
I'm sorry?
Someone can tag themselves as peaceful or what?
No, they tag the weapon. So like the weapon, when I pick up a weapon and I buy it in the market, I'm going to be able to see that it was crafted by Jim Bob. And Jim Bob may have a reputation for making really good heat weapons. So if I'm looking for really good heat weapons, I know to search for his weapons.
Okay, cool.
I think you mean
Created by
Jim Bob the Immortal.
I don't know if he's immortal. I mean, we've got a gravestone for him.
Yeah.
He knew
So,
too much.
will there be like dungeons or sort of like challenging monsters to that where you need these, you know, where you need to optimize your weapons and
Yeah,
equipment?
the Horde Master's already a challenge.
I mean, the bosses that you see in the game right now are just experimentations at this point. Some of the things that you're going to see in the future is creatures that are like, maybe this creature is very effective with fires and he uses a lot of fire attack, but his detriment to him is ice attack. So there will be benefits for you to have an ice weapon when you're fighting him because it'll probably give you a bonus to them. So you'll want to pick and choose the weapons that you actually use and the effects that you're using against them. Certainly when we actually get to the PvP aspect, you will definitely want to look into those situations too. Because we will have like shields that prevent heat damage kind of thing. And then you'll want to, you know, which basically negafies, that is not a word.
Negates?
Negates is probably what I'm looking for. It'll negate that kind of damage, so you're going to have to think and choose what weapons you actually choose to use and how you want to customize those weapons to give it a more dynamic PvP situation. But again, that's PvP. We will see the same thing on the PvE side of things. Of course, we'll certainly have visual cues that also support those things. Of like, if this creature is going to be immune to fire, there's a good chance that he's going to have a fire effect around him, or a UI element that shows you that this is the case. To kind of pull from the other games that are in the market, you know, you look at like Pokemon, for example. You know, that each of the different element attacks of the Pokemons basically have a positive and negative that they work really good against and they're weak against. You are going to have those same kind of situations for eyes.
So these bosses you mentioned, I'm wondering these bosses, will they be placed sort of like at the end of a dungeon sort of thing, or will they be all open world roaming and anyone who finds them can just kill it or whatever?
Closer to the latter. While we do want to put in elements of dungeons, a lot of that is, you got to keep in mind our worlds are dynamic. They can be changed and altered. So trying to say, hey, there's this dungeon that you have to travel through in a linear path is a little difficult to put into a world that you can destroy almost everything in. While we want to try to include elements like that, that is a progression-based thing, and you're going to see it a lot more like when you first zone into a world, there's going to be a starting place that you start at. The algorithms that we use for populating the planets are going to look into things of like, well, where you first start at should be a little bit weaker than the stuff further away. And you will see a progression in difficulty through that when we actually get to that point. Right now, we're hand placing these in the world.
When
you get to your character, your camera bugs, and it's no longer connected to your character, should I just do a bug report, or do you guys have information on that already?
We definitely know what happens, and I like, it's a weird little state because something is like sticking you to a target, but then something releases that target, and then you're fine for a little while, and then it happens again. And if you figure out how to trigger it to happen, that would be really useful for me.
When I came back to the camera, it started following me again. And then if I go away from the camera, come on, you silly thing. Nope. Turn around. No, now I can't turn around. There we go. And no, it happened to me twice, but I can't trigger it a third time. Oh, there's the third time. Maybe it's getting caught up on an asteroid.
Okay, guys.
Oh.
I'm going to end my stream here. Thank you for those who are hanging out.
Well,
There's
I'm
still
gonna
a half
fly
an
around
hour
and
left
try
in the
to
play
repeat
test,
this. Replicate
but
it and see what we can do.
my brain is butter right now.
Oh god, we've
and
actually got people talking about possible like architectural prefabs later on.
time for me to
Ooh,
take
that'll
a
be
moment
fun thing to mess
for
with.
myself, and yeah.
Hey Rod, have you seen my my little reactor space station?
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
Okay. Yes, I'm really proud of this. I don't know why. I really like this design. Well, I knew I wanted to put the homestead light. Like I always think about the homestead light because it looks really cool. I hope I can finish it.
I do suggest taking pictures and videos of things before you leave today, because we are definitely going to wipe in between these, and we've got a very what's the word I'm looking for? Pressured, high pressure,
Yep.
speed. I don't know. Tight might be a good way to go. We've got a very quick timeline, a turnaround for if we're going to get this published out by tomorrow for that publish. So I'm not going to have time to go in and take screenshots or videos or anything of these buildings.
No.
Good point.
Literally, on the hour, you're getting dumped. The server's getting dumped, and then you're working on your on the stuff for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be in a meeting at 10 also, so. And normally I can skip that meeting, but Dave's out today, so I will be running the meeting. So
You're an hour and a half late.
So there's a few like brand new features that are coming in tomorrow's update. Ooh,
I wouldn't say
fun.
necessarily features necessarily. Mostly it's quality of life.
Still.
That are changes that are coming in. A lot of UI things, a lot of just some bug fixes and things like that. The actual features that we wanted to get, we ended up pulling from this publish to push back to a later one, because we want them at least closer to done. We'd rather not them be completely broken when we put them out.
I
Pressing
do
you guys.
love the roaming bands of enemies, though it is very annoying when they just suddenly pop up on top of a build site.
All right, so my camera is hanging up when I
Okay, everybody, we're going to end the stream here. Thank you guys that listened in or stopped by. I know I wasn't talking that much when I started to listen to the Stars Reach, their Discord channel for the playtesting server, and just listening to a lot of those people that were talking were some of the devs. And so it was good just to not overtalk them and just kind of listen in while I was doing some for myself. It made sense what I was doing. I was doing a lot of mundane things from your perspective. I was collecting just resources to get experience points with the whole purpose of I wanted to train out as much of the mineralogy tree as I could, see everything that it unlocked and everything that it let me do. So I did a whole bunch of that. Then I went in through collections and I just started seeing, okay, what all is out there? What do I have? What can I make by unlocking the stuff that I did? And then I've been going through just kind of looking at the different stats that are showing up on things. I was a huge Star Wars Galaxy crafter. And so for me, I'm really interested in all of these types of things, what you're seeing here and all the information that's being displayed. There are different stats, and now I didn't unlock the stats I needed to see some of these over here. I think those were ranger skills, and I was just going through just the mineralogy tree. But it's still good just to get an idea of what all this stuff is, how it's being all put together. So that's what I was doing. And for myself, that really sets me up for future playtesting where I'll have all this base knowledge. I won't have to sit there and really think about it. I'll have a much better understanding, and knowing that they're wiping the server, there is no reason for me to really get into a huge build or anything like that. Instead, I'm just taking the time to learn. So that way, as we go along with Stars Reach, I'm going to continue to stream Stars Reach. You guys can reach out to me, and hopefully I'll have a good solid baseline of knowledge for you guys. and life will be good. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. And until next time, which will probably be some of it will be tomorrow. They're having another play test on the new build. The new build is supposed to just have some quality of life fixes, but it'll be interesting to see what those items are that they managed to get in place. So until then, I've been your host, nfoGuides, and I'm here to show you guys what little we know. And if you could, like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell icon. You know what to do. Share it with your friends. I appreciate it. Peace.